Hello, good morning. Welcome to the morning news on TV3. My name is Christabel Success Treve. Coming up this morning, 5 members of Parliament reintroduce bill seeking to amend Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, to prohibit individuals from declaring, accusing, naming or labelling another person as a witch. Also in this bulletin, government plans to reserve a greater share of public medicine procurement for qualified local pharmaceutical manufacturers. And much later, government soon to issue its position on the Constitutional Review Committee report after a careful assessment. Now the details. Bernard Entry-Boisiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, has formally appealed his conviction in the Summer Boy illegal mining case. The appeal, filed jointly with Akonta Mining Company Limited by a legal team led by Samuel Atachia, is asking the Court of Appeal to overturn the entire judgment delivered by the Accra High Court on July 20, 2026. The appellants argue that the convictions were unreasonable and could not be supported by the evidence presented during the trial. They also contend that the trial judge failed to properly interpret provisions of the Minerals and Mining Act, particularly sections relating to the operations of agents and authorized persons on a mining concession. Chairman Wontumi and Akonta Mining further accused the High Court of exceeding its jurisdiction by interpreting constitutional provisions, which they argue should have been referred to the Supreme Court. The legal team is also expected to challenge the severity of the sentence and seek bail for Chairman Wontumi pending the determination of the appeal. The Court of Appeal is yet to fix a date for this hearing. 5 members of Parliament have reintroduced a bill seeking to amend the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, to prohibit individuals from declaring, accusing, naming or labelling another person as a witch. This law was first passed in July 2023, but did not receive a presidential assent and died with the Parliament. Christian Yali reports that the House has also started commentary on the 2026 mid-year budget report.
Beyond the primary target of making it a crime to label, accuse, or name another person as a witch, the Criminal Offences Amendment Bill is also geared towards outlawing the old practice of witch finders and witch doctors, while strengthening legal protection for victims of such allegations. Former President Akufo-Addo declined to assent to it when it was first passed by the 8th Parliament in July 2023, but it has made a comeback. There are fresh sponsors like Kwame Enyimadu, but it still has 5 legislators pushing it. Human rights and civil society groups have over the years been advocating for stronger legislations to protect victims and vulnerable groups against witchcraft accusations, which often and disproportionately target older women in parts of northern Ghana. It is expected that its passage and assent will help protect vulnerable groups from violence, discrimination, and other human rights abuses linked to witchcraft accusations.
There was a shortfall of revenue to the tune of 5 billion Ghana cedis upon all the 8 new taxes that the government puts in place in 2025.
MPs have started commenting on the mid-year budget review, with the minority accusing government of under-executing its budget by 30 billion cedis and not spending right.
This year, half-year expenditure is down by 31.3 billion Ghana cedis. Government is therefore not balancing the books, Mr. Speaker. They are is balancing the books by just not spending. And if spending, not spending at the right places. Mr. Speaker, capital expenditure saw a downward trend of 14.3 billion. Economic activity is not flourishing, and it will not help develop the economy. We are stifling growth by not spending in the right places.
This government, this minister, made promises of projects, jobs, and programs to the tune of 30 billion Ghana cedis, which it has not executed as at half year. Here, what on What's the young country that we inflation 5%? You know, where we marry? A proper scale for chrome to be antazi. Now inflation are performed. To which, Mr. Speaker, our mothers who sell in the market say they've seen what you are doing. You have sterilized all the money, so there's no money to execute demand.
The majority denied the assertions that government is not spending.
In 2017, they budgeted to raise 44.96 billion. They ended up by getting 41.25 billion, making a net unrealized revenue of 3.71 billion. In 2019, they budgeted to raise 58.91 billion. They only had 54.56 billion, making a loss of 4.34 billion. Atuforsen in 2025 spent 94.4%. On what grounds are you saying he's not spending? The scorecard for Dr. Atuforsen is reflected in price stability.
Now, ranking member on the Economy and Development Committee, Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah, has indicated that the minority will file rights to information RTI requests to obtain details of 3 tax administration agreements recently approved by Parliament. On Tuesday, Parliament approved 3 multi-year expenditure commitments for the implementation of a fiscal electronic device policy, a Ghana domestic revenue collection platform, and a cross-border e-commerce VAT monitoring and collection system.
The Minority Caucus has opposed these 3 transactions, primarily because the majority side is refusing to disclose very significant pieces of information that are required to allow us to fully participate in these transactions. And that's why we have opposed them on the floor. But we want to make the point that while the majority side goes ahead with this, number 1, we will be filing the necessary RTI requests to demand for copies of the underlying contract eventually, and to scrutinize the terms and the fiscal implications that it has for all taxpayers in this country going forward. Number 2, we want to serve notice in particular to the companies that are looking to participate in the fiscal electronic device transaction that what has happened here, which is the blank check that the majority side has procured for the government, does not amount to a parliamentary approval, properly so called. And so you participate in this transaction at your own risk.
A member of the Finance Committee, Dr. Gideon Boako, has criticized the government's decision to introduce a cross-border e-commerce value-added tax VAT system, warning it could subject Ghanaians to double taxation on international purchases. The Tano North MP described the policy as a social media tax, accusing government of scrapping the betting tax only to introduce a new tax regime through the back door. He said the move would increase the cost of streaming subscriptions, including Netflix and online shopping for Ghanaians.
What this cross-border e-commerce VAT monitoring platform is going to do is that any transaction any Ghanaian makes across borders on the internet, government is going to apply a VAT on that transaction. What it means is that if you are a Ghanaian student at Legon or the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology or University of Cape Coast or anywhere, and you want to order a textbook on Amazon or any of those platforms, you are likely to pay 2 different VATs, because the cross-border VAT system operates on 2 principles. One is the origin principle, and the other is the destination principle. And that becomes double taxation. We've asked the government at the committee level to explain to us how it is going to mitigate the risk of double taxation. That answer is not forthcoming. It also applies to our sisters and brothers at the universities elsewhere who are doing e-commerce, who are ordering hair from Thailand, who are ordering hair from Brazil, who are ordering items from China, elsewhere. Any transaction that you make henceforth, once this one is approved, you're going to pay VAT on that. It applies to digital transactions as well. So those of you who are champions and lovers of movies and you are always eager to go to Netflix to watch movies, any transaction that you make with Netflix, you are going to pay VAT on that. So if you're a young guy and you use movies to kind of whet your appetite and enjoy yourselves, this government is going to make it expensive for you henceforth. These are the issues that we are raising. If you use Starlink for your internet services, you are going to pay VAT on that. This is a government who said betting tax was not good and abolished the betting tax for populist reasons, but today is introducing social media tax. Because this thing we are talking about is nothing but social media tax, such that any transactions that you do, you're going to pay VAT on that. I stand to be corrected, but I want to hazard the thought that it is likely that even if you boost your video, you're a TikToker, you're a blogger or whoever, and you boost your video or picture or anything on Instagram, on Facebook or Twitter, on TikTok, government is going to charge you for that. So the younger generation of this country should pay attention to that.
Education authorities remain optimistic about ending the double-track system in senior high schools with expanded school infrastructure nationwide. But education policy analyst Dr. Peter Partey-Anti insists the timeline is unrealistic and urges government to clear to Ghanaians.
Government is banking on $300 million World Bank funds under the Star J project to expand infrastructure, 210 interventions, 10 new schools, and rehabilitation of 150 existing ones. However, Executive Director of the Institute for Education Studies, Dr. Peter Partey-Anti, argues the 2-year target is not feasible.
We are in the middle of 2026. The World Bank facility has just been approved. So we are now going to do all those procurement activities, award contracts, and other things. But by the time you realize, we are almost in 2027. But of course, if the government is going to have other sources of funding to support this, then they might want to target the 2027. But listening to the Minister of Education and listening to the Minister of Finance, we think that the idea to end double track is solely based on this secondary education infrastructure expansion project, and therefore it's highly unrealistic that double track can end in 2027.
Meanwhile, Press Secretary to the Education Minister, Hashmin, dismisses the claim, insisting the plan is achievable.
It is not unrealistic. It is realistic. Very soon the procurement processes will start. You don't need much time to be able to renovate a school or upgrade some of the schools, because in some of the schools, the upgrade just need a furniture. Getting the right contractors for it, procuring furniture shouldn't take a lot of time, and then renovating some of the schools too shouldn't also take that time. We are very optimistic that we will be able to work within the time frame to be able to end the double track as promised.
He says beyond infrastructure, the rollout includes teacher training, resources, and materials to guarantee quality secondary education. Beatrice Soa, TV3 News, Accra.
Government has announced plans to reserve a greater share of public medicine procurement for qualified local pharmaceutical manufacturers. The move is part of efforts to strengthen the country's pharmaceutical sovereignty, reduce dependence on imports, and position the country as a pharmaceutical manufacturing hub in West Africa.
Speaking at the Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Association of Ghana Day in Accra, the Minister for Health, Kwabena Minta Akando, said Ghana cannot fully guarantee the health security of its citizens while relying heavily on imported medicines, vaccines, and other health products. He cited lessons from the COVID-19 pandemic and recurring disruptions in global supply chains as evidence of the need to strengthen local pharmaceutical manufacturing.
To translate the policy into action, the Ministry of Health is reviewing its procurement arrangement to use public purchasing power more strategically. A larger number of medicines under the framework contracting arrangement will be reserved exclusively for qualified local manufacturers. But here, the caveat is that you must be competitive enough. Arrangements are also progressing towards the production of the tetanus diphtheria vaccine through an international technology partnership.
He encouraged manufacturers to access financing through the Ghana Exim Bank to expand production, improve quality and target regional export markets. The president of the Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. Kofin Siampoku, said that despite opportunities such as access to the ECOWAS and African Continental Free Trade Area markets, the pharmaceutical industry continues to face significant challenges. He said the sector is grappling with high production costs, expensive utilities, exchange rate volatility, and high borrowing cost, among other constraints. The president of the Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Association of Ghana, Elder Dr. Samuel Amo-Tobin, also called for deliberate investment across the entire pharmaceutical value chain.
We must invest in research, in modern manufacturing technology, and in training a new generation of scientists, engineers, and quality assurance professionals.
The Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has noted that the government is due to issue its position on the Constitutional Review Committee report after a careful assessment. The Constitutional Review report, which was submitted to the President in December 2025, is yet to be acted upon after 8 months.
Speaking at the 150th anniversary celebration of the country's Supreme Court, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, indicated that a constitutional review is not synonymous with altering legal provisions, but an exercise which reflects the demands of an evolving society. She maintained that government will soon assess and implement the recommendations from the report.
I'm pleased to state that government is carefully considering the committee's recommendations, and in keeping with our commitment to openness and constitutional governance, will issue a position paper setting out government's considered position. That constitutional reform must strengthen public confidence, deepen democratic accountability, and preserve the delicate balance upon which our constitutional order rests.
Reacting to the Constitutional Review report, Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni called for implementation of reforms which will increase confidence in constitutional institutions in the country.
Ultimately, constitutional reform is never about giving more power to institutions. It is about enabling institutions to serve the people better. That must always remain our guiding principle. The judiciary has never claimed perfection. No institution honestly can. There remains delays we must reduce. Processes we must simplify. Infrastructure we must improve. Technology we must continue to embrace. And public confidence we must continue to earn. Acknowledging these challenges is not a sign of institutional weakness. It is evidence of institutional maturity.
Former presidents of the National House of Chiefs and the Agbogbo Mafia of the Asogli Traditional Council, Togbi Afede XIV, indicated that it was time to cap the appointment of Supreme Court justices.
One way to do it is to take a second look at the way we appoint our justices. From the beginning, they are made to be impartial. And also, the absence of an upper limit to a number, or the total number of Supreme Court judges that allows adding, and adding, satisfy political objectives.
The Grand Deba climaxed the month-long 150th anniversary celebrations of the Supreme Court. Lodi Rasari, TV3 News, Accra.
Before we head out, transport unions have suspended plans to increase public transport fares by 30% after holding crunch talks with the Minister for Transport. However, the unions warn the proposed hike will be implemented if fuel prices rise again in the next petroleum pricing window on August 1.
The decision to suspend the planned 30% transport fare increase follows a meeting between transport unions and the Ministry of Transport on Tuesday to address concerns over rising fuel prices and the increasing cost of vehicle spare parts. Drivers say These twin challenges have significantly increased the cost of operating and maintaining their vehicles. Petroleum prices have seen repeated upward adjustment in recent months, prompting transport operators to argue that they can no longer absorb the rising costs and must pass part of the burden onto commuters. However, after discussions with the Transport Minister, Joseph Bukari, the transport unions agreed to suspend the planned 30% fare increase. Deputy spokesperson for the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, Samuel Amoa, justified the decision to suspend the proposed fare increase, but stressed that the reprieve is only temporary and will depend on development in the next fuel pricing window.
Where it has gotten to, the drivers are suffering. A driver will work at the close of the day, he will use all the money to go and buy fuel. They cannot make their sales. If car owners also don't meet their sales, it's difficult for them to also repair their vehicles, for the vehicles to come back on road because of the high cost of spare parts. So based on that, we propose that if government don't do anything about, the most especially the petroleum product, it's likely that we also come up with a fare increment of 30%.
He also emphasized that no official fare adjustment has been approved, urging drivers to refrain from charging unauthorized fares.
What I will tell my drivers right now is that transport fares has not been increased. We propose 30%, yes. Government says that we should hold on to see what will happen next. So every driver should remain calm. Nobody should go out there to go and increase transport fares.
Meanwhile, Executive Director of the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, Benjamin Sia, is urging the government to introduce measures to cushion both transport operators and commuters against the impact of rising fuel prices.
I think the government should, as soon as possible, look at relaxing some of the margins or cutting some of the margins so that prices do not exceed 20 Ghana cedis per litre. That's one intervention within the short term that government could do between today or tomorrow. The other term in terms of the CTO side is to critically engage these CTOs so that the expected or estimated percentage that is likely going to be put on transport cost will not reach that far. I think that I've seen they proposing 30%. I think if government negotiates well and even gets 10% or 15%, it serves both the interests of the CTO and also serves the interests of commuters.
He noted that the next pricing window could impose severe hardship if nothing is done about the situation.
All the products are going to see higher increments beginning the first window of August, which starts on 1st August. Unfortunately for the Ghanaian petroleum consumers, we've seen the CD depreciate by about 1%. So whilst the Ghanaian petroleum consumer is faced by international hikes of the petroleum products, we are also challenged by the depreciation of the currency. So this makes it a double trouble.
With the next fuel pricing window expected on August 1, transport operators say any further increase in petroleum prices could trigger another review of transport fares, leaving commuters anxiously awaiting the outcome.
Following the President's launch of the initiative to establish 24-hour model markets across all 261 districts, Tema West has catch sword for the redevelopment of the Community 2 market into a modern commercial center capable of supporting trading both day and night.
The project is expected to transform the existing market into an integrated commercial facility capable of supporting economic activity beyond the traditional trading hours. Speaking at the event, Tema West Member of Parliament, lawyer James Enu, said the project would create jobs, improve conditions for traders, and expand economic activity within the municipality.
The aim is to create a market where economic activity can continue throughout the day and into the night. That is why it's a 24-hour economic market, while providing traders and customers with safe and convenient environment in which to conduct their business.
He also charged the contractors, engineers and consultants to deliver the project on time and in accordance with the approved specifications.
I also want to speak directly to the contractors and engineers, consultants, and everyone who will be involved in the execution of this project. The people of Tema West are looking forward to a project that will be delivered on time and to the highest possible standard. We expect quality work, proper supervision, and strict adherence to the agreed specifications and timelines.
For traders in Tema West, the project represents the promise of safer working conditions, improved storage facilities, longer trading hours, and new economic opportunities.
Just before we go, if you woke up to some power outages in your area, this is as a result of certain things that Gridco has put in this particular statement, and we're going to be reading it out to you shortly. And it's titled Power System Disturbance. And it says the Ghana Grid Company Limited, Gridco, wishes to inform the general public that the National Interconnected Transmission System experienced power supply disturbance at approximately 3:11 a.m. on Wednesday, 29 July 2026. This disturbance resulted in the simultaneous tripping of some generating plants across the national power system, leading to interruption of electricity supply. And Gridco says it has activated its established system restoration procedures. Its engineers and system operators are working continuously in close collaboration with power stakeholders to restore power within the shortest possible time. And at the same time, a comprehensive technical investigation has commenced to determine the cause of the system event. It apologizes for the inconvenience and appreciates the patience and understanding of the public during this period. And it says we fully remain committed to restoring supply to all affected customers as quickly as possible. And this is coming through from Gridco here. That's all the time we have here on News Morning. Thank you so much for joining us. The rest of the team are on standby. My name is Christabel Success Treve. Thanks for watching.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0
And just going by the theme and the title of that song by Rude Boy, formerly of P Square, and our own Sarkodie, as you're blessed and alive, we all have to thank God for having a blessed morning, and we all wish you a blessed day as well. Let me say good morning to you, Pai Fianku. You work with engineers and planners. Of course, we have Chairman Ibrahim Mahama, who is the Group Chief Executive. Rafik is there as well. Alhaji Nuruddin. Edmond Komba, Tema Oil Refinery.
It was his birthday.
And then Randa Shal is also watching
ago.
us. Prince Nania York of the UK, Money Kwesi Mensah in New York, Albany, Charles Thompson, Obrim Ponkaba, Zealous Dwayne. And we have a lot to talk about this morning. Chairman Prosper, good morning to Great Man. Chairman Godwin Tamakulu of the Raid Group. Look, a lot has been happening. The power is off, has been off for the last couple of hours.
Yes.
So I went straight to Facebook. You know, when you get to Facebook,
nowadays
everything's
you're
there.
Not playing with your
no. You get there, no. Then they say, do you have power cuts or lights off? As we say in local parlance. So it seems to be a widespread thing.
Yes, it is.
We'll give viewers an update from Greatco as well as the main distributor of power, ECG as well. I know that for those who live in your neighborhood, you didn't get power cuts.
No,
right?
no. There's lights out everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And it felt quite dangerous driving this morning because the streets are very dark and wet as well. And then you have to also deal with cars coming from the opposite direction with highlights and those directly behind you reflecting in your mirrors as well. I felt like I was being bombarded front and back with lights, with darkness on the road. It was quite difficult driving this morning.
Especially if you don't have highlights when it comes to...
Yes.
Yeah.
But even when you do have highlights, there are some cars that have, I don't know whether it's a mini form of fluorescent lights, but it's so loud that it blinds you almost completely on the road. So thank God I drove here safely. But yes, the light out is widespread, actually, everywhere. Yes.
We thank God that you're alive. You could have had some dangerous incidents on the road. But talking about what is danger, Galamsey is still on, and it looks to be intensifying. So the question we're asking this morning is, why is government looking on? And those who have been appointed by the President of the Republic to be his representatives and supervisors in the various Galamsey-prone areas, not doing anything. We'll bring you some latest exclusives from our own reporters, but also tell you what has been happening based on media reports and then also from the coalition itself, what their concerns are. So we'll be occupying the latest when it comes to the issue of illegal mining or Galamsey this morning. And we will be looking at some of the endemic areas and be asking the question, why nothing is being done so far and why we shouldn't have the president make sure that his own people who are perpetrators are brought to book. Key question this morning. So we'll be having that for our big conversation for big issues this morning. Of course, we have the Blaster Squad in today, Zato Solo, and of course we have Ede Magbana joining us. Dr. Ken Ashigbi will be joining us this morning as well. Then we'll have Pakwesi Shandoff representing and speaking for the sector ministry to be joining us and ask the key questions on the subject. But we have the latest on Wontumi.
Yes. But before we even go to Wontumi, it's quite intriguing the locations of these illegal mining activities. In front of a police station, and then you have around Agenda 111. If you remember, was it last year? We also had the Railways Authority going to some parts in the Western region. People have mined, almost removed the soil under the rail lines, and very, very strategic places aside from the regular forest and water areas that we have these illegal mining activities taking place. And so really quite worrying. And the question you asked right on spot, we need to be able to identify those. And again, I just refer to what happened last night, for instance, when we had the former Lands Minister, Yunus Afuseni, on Agenda joining us last night. And his conclusion was that you have government officials or government in power not deciding to prosecute people who are found to be corrupt or involved in any kind of illegality because it doesn't want to be tagged. So the question you ask again comes into play, that are we identifying those who are in power now? We're not waiting for the government, a new government to come before prosecution starts so that we go with the same narrative of they are prosecuting ex-government officials and it is political witch hunt and all of that. So really it's something that we need to look at it now before it gets out of hand. It's already destroyed a lot of our stuff anyway. Yeah. So yes, you talk about Wontumi. The lawyers are going to appeal, and there are a number of grounds that they're using, as it were. And the lead counsel now, Samuel Latachia, okay, so maybe I'll just read about 3 of them. He's arguing that the conviction is unreasonable and unsupported by the evidence on record. He goes ahead to talk about the fact that the trial court also misconstrued key provisions of the law. He goes on to talk about even the jurisdiction of the High Court. And I find that interesting because you have a number of high-profile cases where the individuals or the lawyers involved will argue that the High Court may not have jurisdiction. We have the issue of the 4 MPs in court when we had the former Chief Justice talk about the High Court not having jurisdiction over the matter, and even Parliament not having the authority to interpret. So the issue of High Court having jurisdiction again comes to play. And for me, it reminds me again of yesterday, one of the things that came up, which was the fact that we needed to put a cap on how many judges we are appointing to the Supreme Court. And we've had some lawyers, and I think that was also a point that Togbe Apede, the Agbomefia of the Asogli State, also talked about. But there are those who are arguing that we have our lower courts not empowered enough, and we seem to have one centralized Supreme Court as compared to the US, which has federal system. And so it puts a lot of pressure on judges at the Supreme Court. Well, that person was arguing for more judges to be selected at the Supreme Court. Why am I talking about this? Because we are also bringing right now into the argument the jurisdiction of the High Court. So at what point are we going to empower all the courts, the circuit, the districts, the High Court, the Appeals Court, just so they are able to deal with certain matters before they go to the Supreme Court? Because now, if he's making argument that the High Court doesn't have jurisdiction, it means you're heading towards the Supreme Court, as it were. So do we still have to look at the review of the Constitution again, which was recently done, report submitted to the presidency? It's a whole lot of, sometimes it sounds like a cycle, but hopefully we're able to get something substantive out of it and move forward. Yes.
Well, we'll see how that pans out, because it's in the bosom of the judges, so to speak. And so at the Court of Appeal, we'll see what the court makes a decision on, and then subsequently how we move on from there.
Indeed.
And subsequently as well, we know that the latest power cut or outage has been experienced by almost everyone, according to what so far we've observed. I don't know about you as well, but just in case you've also experienced that, please let's know from your location whether you experienced it or not on WhatsApp. So just get onto our WhatsApp platform. Make sure that the numbers as displayed, we have 0500 516 444. Let's hear from you, your experiences this morning with the power outage, and then whether it's been restored in your community or your area as well. If it hasn't been, just tell us from which point in time, the early part of this morning, you experienced it, and let's have some conversations this morning. We'll try and call on emergency some of the power distribution officials, and then we'll get to know what the latest issues are. We have the latest from Greco as well. We'll talk about that as well, all for this morning segment. Stay tuned. Again, we're back. Just make sure that if you're watching us from our social media handles as well, whether it's TV3 Ghana across Facebook, YouTube, or wherever we're live, please make sure you send us a message. If you experience, you are in country Ghana, you did experience a power outage, please let us know, because we have an official statement from the Ghana Grid Company. They are the official and sole distributors of power when it's generated right here in their republic and subsequently distributed by the Electricity Company of Ghana. And from you, please let us know the latest. And yes, incident sites as well from all of you will get to know as well. But Beatrice, points will be quite interesting so far. Hasn't been a very good morning when it comes to the power issue. But I guess for those in Accra, fortunately, it's been a rainy morning. So at least when it comes to the temperatures, you'll be waking up not too bad. But again, not having light also means that some discomfort for consumers as well. So, okay.
Indeed, yes. So, I mean, I just hope that the rippling effects are not that bad. Because this started very, I mean, if you look at the Gridco release that I know you're going to go through, it talks about the lights going out around 3:11 a.m. And so if your work entirely revolves around electricity, it means that you're going to suffer some kind of loss. But obviously, I think the statement talks about working assiduously, as it were, to resolve this. And also, I like the bit about safety. Yes, we want to bring the lights back as soon as possible, but we're also considering safety. Roland, which other details can you give us regarding the statement coming from Gridco?
Right, so the latest being the statement from the Ghana Grid Company is indicating that their information for the National Interconnected Transmission System experiencing power system disturbances. And they said this occurred approximately 3:11 a.m. this morning. That will be on Wednesday, the 29th of July, just in case you're watching us outside the jurisdiction. And the disturbance, according to the statement, resulted in simultaneous tripping of some generating plants across the national power grid and has led to interruption of electricity supply. So it seems to be a national issue.
Yes.
According to the statement, Gridco so far are indicating they have activated established system restoration procedures. The engineers of Gridco and other engineers of the system operators, according to the statement, are working continuously. They are doing that in collaboration with power sector stakeholders to restore power and within the shortest possible time without compromising on safety as well. We know that the biggest incident recently has been the power or fire incident that was recorded at that power station on the premises of the Volta River Authority at Akosombo. The last time around, quickly restored in a week or two. And at the same time, a comprehensive technical investigation has commenced to determine the precise cause of this system blackout, according to Gridco. Of course, they continue with the apologies, etc. But despite the apologies, there's still no power. However, what we can indicate based on 3 pointers is that 3:11 a.m. this morning, power went off, is a national power blackout, according to Gridco 2. So 3 is that they are working with power stakeholders to make sure that they restore power. Well, if you've experienced this, please let us know. According to the statement, it happens to be a national blackout. We don't know whether everywhere else in Ghana is off, but just in case you're watching us this morning, please let us know where you are experiencing it. When did you take notice of this blackout, so to speak, that now has been confirmed by the Ghana Grid Company. But Beatrice, it also means that simultaneously, people are going to have a lot of difficulties this morning.
Exactly, yes. And like I did say earlier, if your work revolves around electricity or even water, to some extent, when it prolongs, we have the Ghana Water Company Limited also being affected because they need the power to pump and to do its work. And so, like Roland said, wherever you find yourself, if you don't have light, let us know what the situation is like and possibly how this is affecting you. But I think we also did say that we'll be looking at the issue of illegal mining just for people to share their thoughts with us, and the fact that the latest we're talking about now, based on what our reporters have equally brought us, has to do with illegal mining in front of the Impoho police station. right in front of law enforcement agency. What do you think about it? Do you think that really the supposed efforts that we say have been put in place are not working, or really we are not just doing it at all? Share with us, and moving forward, what you believe could be done as well to ensure we deal with this matter once and for all. I don't know whether you've already received messages as regards some of the issues we're talking about.
A lot of people sending messages. I see Ajay Boateng saying that in Sawam it's off. And Harold, good morning to you, Harold. I can say good morning to you as well. Just indicate to me whether you have power going off. Richard Amankwakwashi, good morning to you. And the rest of your family says that power is off in his area around Adenta as well. So everybody else affected. We'll quickly go to the console, but we'll be again touching base with the power sector representatives to speak to us, particularly from the Ministry of Energy. And we have Lawyer Richmond Roxon, we can quickly just speak to if he's in a position to speak to us in the first place. And then we also get to know where the latest is coming from in terms of what the causes are and then what is being done for that restoration to confirm the statement from the Ghana Grid Company. And quickly, for those who are watching us across our social media platforms, we're grateful. But more importantly, if you're having those difficulties in power, please let us know. But we have this one from Ibrahim Krampa. Isha says, I have light because I'm on my generator. Good for you, but it's also good for you to inform us that you don't have light, so indicating that it's also been affected in your area. Eso Wahab says that Sapeman, Opa, it says that their light went off 2:25 a.m. Don't know. Okay, don't know before the power outage. So Joshua Arthur also says that Winneba is off. And then we also do have from others as well watching us. But please, if you're watching, Kaswa from Pearl also says that is off. We have our own Kaswa chairman here, so he confirmed that lights from those areas, Ofako and some of those areas had been off for a couple of hours now. And so we have that right in our strikes. Solar is also off, according to Sansa Thomas. And then Amos Mensa, he lives in many areas at the same time. So in the Volta region, he says that Ketu Peta is off. And then all the communities along those areas in Ketu North are also off. And then Alfreda in Ho says that it's off. Humble, Cantonment. We have a producer who lives in Cantonment. He's confirmed that it's off. So we don't. The whole of Dansoman from Rich Love Quincy says it's off as well. And a couple more people. Stephen Anosei in Takwa says Takwa is off as well. Klagon is just here, off.
Your
So
neighborhood.
Yeah, so at least we're on the same line, so we know that as well. But please let us know, especially if you have to face some difficulties this morning. For those of you who have to keep your irons on and then make sure you stretch your clothes before you get to work. But also if you work with electricity for most of the time, it also means that your work will be affected. Let us know what your experiences will be.
Yes, a number of people on YouTube equally commenting as well. Aniado says, Ability Motor says, Tabora light out. Ankara says, Atimpoku light out. And Abdul Rauf Al-Hassan says, Sampa in Bunu region is also facing this challenge. Albert Sarkodie says Akosombo is also light out. That's where we have our power plant is off. AJ Owusu says Ahafo in Totrosu Jedu is experiencing outage as well. Light off in Tamale. That's coming from Cletus. And then Jackie says Bachona. Is it the Bachona? Spintex is also off. Cecilia says Oyarifa is also off. So it seems that La Paz is off, Aquatia is off. So it seems it's a nationwide problem like we saw in that statement coming from Gridco. Yes.
Mr. Mike Kofiaflo, good morning to you. He's chair for FIC, for the Financial Intelligence Center. Wish you all the best for the day. Areas around Lashibi, etc. He pegged this time at 2 a.m. Gridco says 3:11 a.m. So residents reporting varied times. We've had the 2 a.m. time also communicated to us earlier on by another viewer. And so we'll just be getting the message trickling in. But more importantly, we want to get to the individuals who speak on the subject, particularly when there's an intermittent power interruption, but more so crisis, and how it will be resolved, especially when it's on a scale of a national emergency, because such power disruptions result in man hours being lost, productivity when it comes to the manufacturing sector or the service sector or all sectors of the economy are also being lost. And then, of course, at the end of the day, it affects the bottom line in terms of revenue for the period, and then what also the outcomes will be. But let us know. We told you we have cash out. It goes with a short code, *439#. This is what you need to do. And Beatrice, please tell them.
Yes, you need to play more than 40 times. In fact, 100 times if you can. And we're giving out, how much are we giving out today? 1,000 CDs. To how many people? 3 or 2 people? Yes, 3 people. So keep playing. Start early. Don't just play once and go to sleep. *439#. You follow the prompt. And as always, you pick your favorite platform, which is number 2, right here on TV3. And if you play very early, we'll be able to even cash out before the big issue, or perhaps in the middle of big issue, latest by after big issue is done, just so you get to enjoy some cash. 1,000 Ghana cedis to 3 of you. So start playing more than 40 times, up to 100 times if you can. *439#. Follow the prompt, pick your favorite platform, and it's right here, number 2, TV3.
All right, so we read a couple of comments on our WhatsApp console. Let's scroll up or down. All right, it's been refreshed quickly as possible. And Shadrach, thank you for the latest, as well as... Okay, we'll scroll down. Scroll down. Okay, then, you know, as WhatsApp is, you have to look out for today. So we'll look out for today. And then when we... Okay, so we've seen today. And this one is... Okay, we have one of our loyal viewers watching us from Lagos, as the DJs will say, inside Nigeria. And it says, great show so far, we should keep it up. Thank you. This lady is always great, referring to Beatrice. Joe Eskin, inside Lagos, Nigeria.
Wow.
Thank you so much for the message as well. We have power cut here, I don't know. I think Lagos, they tend to experience it most of the time than we do.
Oh, yes. I mean, there are generators almost at every
For us, it's an emergency.
show.
For you, it's a lifestyle. I mean, not to throw shade at anybody.
The Nigerians will not be happy with you this morning.
Yes. But Beatrice, we have some interesting comments so far. You want to take this one from Jibril?
Yes, he says, those who claim that the government is not spending should acknowledge that it has paid ex gratia salary top-ups and invested 143.7 billion Ghana cedis in key sectors, including infrastructure and the Big Push program. If critics disagree with these priorities, they should present credible alternatives. Public debate should focus on fact, policies, and solutions, not blanket claims that the government is doing nothing.
Yeah.
And that's Team Jibril, Team Spencer. Okay.
Yeah. And this one is from Humado Sichop. Good morning to you. He's sending out this message from the Guan constituency.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know the Guan, after Hokwe, they are there. So we have Leklebi. We have Likpe, Santro Kofi, Akpafu, all those areas as part of the Guan. And then this one, we've been giving you names.
Yes.
So we have this one from,
Roy
and B. So Edem in Lashibi says that the spark cuts or light off, no lights in Nkwetia Kwewu. That's where we have St. Peter's. And we also have this one also coming from Slow Fast.
Tumu. Yes. And he says, honestly, health, agriculture, education, and interior are failed ministries, and the unemployed youth will surely pay them back. Okay, so don't forget to send us a comment on what we are discussing, the electricity issue, and of course, a bit on the illegal mining issue, if you can, and you have a view on it. There's also one you did, he's from... He says that Dabuasi 2, there's light out, and says, good morning. Galamsey in the Wasa East District is getting out of hand, especially in Esaman. Let the minister in charge of lands and natural resources be informed and the necessary agencies take action.
All right. And there's light off here in Daboase.
Yes.
Yeah, Daboase. And so that also. And the Spinters Bachona, we're told, specifically American Washing Bay.
Where is that one?
On the Spinters Road, Bachona.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Please make sure that you speak to what we are discussing this morning. And it's on the emergency power cut we're experiencing nationally. There's been a confirmed statement from the Ghana Grid Company. And quickly, Beatrice, again, will apprise you of the latest, just in case you're now switching your device on and watching us, whether it's on TV3, across TV3 Ghana on social media. It'll be Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, X, or wherever you're watching us. We're grateful you've joined us, though. But the latest statements coming from Gridco will apprise you of that. These are the comments coming from many of you indicating where you are, whether you've experienced a power cut. But, Beatrice, we have to go back to the statement by Gridco just to confirm what the issues are, what Gridco has indicated, the time that they noticed that power has been off nationally, and then just to make sure that we do the confirmations right. And quickly, we'll just realign the statement on the dashboard for you as quickly as possible. And this one is coming from Gridco, Beatrice.
Yes, it is coming from Gridco, and it says the Ghana Grid Company wishes to inform the general public that the national interconnected transmission system experienced power system disturbance at approximately 3:11 a.m. on Wednesday, 29 July 2026, and that's today. The disturbance resulted in the simultaneous tripping of some generating plants across the national power system, leading to interruption of electricity supply. It says Gridco has activated its established system restoration procedures. Our engineers and system operators are working continuously in close collaboration with power sector stakeholders to restore power within the shortest time possible without compromising safety. At the same time, a comprehensive technical investigation has commenced to determine the precise cause of this system. So it means that as of now, we do not know the cause yet. Gridco, because I've seen a statement on YouTube, one of our viewers saying that we should be telling them the reason. Gridco says that it is yet to establish the cause. And so hopefully in the course of the day, we'll be able to get that. And obviously, Gridco is sincerely apologizing for the inconvenience and appreciating as well the patience and understanding of the public during this period, and says that Gridco remains fully committed to restoring supply to all affected customers as quickly and safely as possible, and will provide further updates as more information becomes available. But there's also a message coming in from one of our viewers who says that power has actually been restored in his area. And I'm trying to get that very area that he talks about. He talks about, I think, Aviation Road somewhere. He says that his power has been restored. So perhaps...
So please, if your Gridco is indicating that they're working simultaneously with their power stakeholders to make sure there's restoration following that interruption that has been experienced on the national grid. So while we are apprising you of what the latest is of the blackout, just in case you experience power coming in your area, please let us know as well.
Yeah, so that is Daniel. He says Third Gate and Aviation Butcher Road, they've had their power restored.
Okay. Third Gate, Aviation Butcher, close to our Adenta area. Okay, so let us know. So we'll go back to the comments and then let's get to know. We'll speak to lawyer Richmond Roxon of the Ministry of Energy and get to know what the latest is. So we're working the lines to make sure we get the latest, and Shadrach will make sure that we're in a position to do so. But in the meantime, I'm going to look for today, so that we'll be in good stead. Just to know. So I see a couple of messages out. Yes, I remember. Vividly. Okay, so so
I think that was the last one.
Yeah, so we have this one from Trupeni Evakpo. It's I woke up around 4:30 and realized the lights were off. So it means that the weather was cool. He never indicated either that or you did something over, so you had good sleep. So no problem at all. So that's coming from Raymond. Raymond, good morning to you from Trupe, near Vakpo, Volta region. The whole of Navrongo is off. This one sounds like an alarm. Well, the whole country is alarmed currently because the national grid is off, and we have Moses from Utah's campus. Which one is Utah's?
Which one is that?
No, Utah's. University of
no
something.
Navrongo. It must be around that place.
So we'll try and search which of the names has been turned.
Yes.
Because the university names have been changed over the last couple of years.
Yeah, which is somewhere in the Volta region.
Yeah, that's
right?
whole in the Volta.
Yes.
Sprinters is also experiencing power outage. And this one from a viewer who says since 3:30. And then we have no light at Saki, high tension. Benjamin Adegbe and Saki is around Gulf City. So for those of you who live in Tema on the Afienya Road, we have Saki, Bediakon, some of those areas there as well. And then we also do have Swale, Seidu, Kintampo North, Bono East region. Kintampo, that's where Master Planner Junior is, right?
Okay.
Kintampo to the same. And then we also have Kumasi being off, Bobai.
Upper West region, Dumukwa.
Who said Upper West region? Dumkwa.
Dumkwa.
Oh,
He
okay,
didn't add his name.
It says, and I have to trace my box iron. I don't know who has box iron these days. I'm not sure anybody has box iron these days. Do we? Please, if you use box iron, let us know because this is alarming.
Maybe in the rural areas where you put charcoal in it. I haven't seen one in a very long time.
Relax. Unless you're going for camping. You know, Nashoko likes camping in mountains and
so
caves.
you think Nashoko might have one?
So Nashoko will have one. But apart from Nashoko and those who like leisure hiking, I'm not too sure anybody else has. Insuraba Rex is the name of, Estates, Sakumono Estates. The staff quarters around, the whole, so power is off around Sakumono.
I'm not sure the Gen Zs will know what box iron is.
They don't need to know.
Okay.
It's not their generation. Yeah, so you people, you like old school. But you didn't use box iron, so what's your wahala? Bob, we have this one, Bob, from, it said disc off in Hunter West is also off. Sakumono, we've confirmed. But, so this one is your person. Another person.
Okay.
It says that Sakumono is on. It came on around 5:56 a.m. and then went off around 3:30 a.m.
Oh, okay. 3:30 a.m. might have gone up. That was the first, right? Before it came back at 5:56.
It's on at, and so it went off around, so it's back in Sakumono. Okay. Please, if you're in Sakumono, can you confirm whether your area is on? That's Kofi in Chapel Square. And then we have Michael Abim, who says that there's power outage at Sokode Bogame in the whole central municipality, and says this in full of the Volta region. I love this person.
Yeah.
He likes a lot of English, so has written it well. The light just came on in East Legon.
Okay, just means that gradually people are getting their lights. Yes.
Please, if your power is on, let us know. Our regular watcher, landlord, Bolga D line.
Yes.
Entire Bolga, Upper East region is off. Thank you for the announcement, Bolga D line. And Western North, Bodi district is also off. Somewhere from Techima in Bono East, we experienced light out since 2 a.m. till now. Nungwa is now on. Nungwa is now on. Kumasi, Francis says that Bobai in Kumasi is off. I hope I pronounced the area well. That's the neighborhood well in Kumasi. We've seen Rex is back with Dumunkwa. It's Gala. It's a Ghana dear. If not Dumso, it's Gala. It's Gala. Okay, you're talking about Gala. I'm saying if not Dumso, it's Gala. What country Kra is this? Or which country is this Kra? And we have this one from the Volta region. Can you just take us through this one? He's a regular watcher.
Senior Roland and Madam Beatrice, he says, we are also affected. We, the people of Angloga and Keta, are experiencing the power outage as well. At that time, I was busy doing my research, hoping the power would be restored. However, we're still without electricity, and that's coming from Kotoka, Courage, Angloga, Lashibi, Volta region. There's Angloga, Lashibi. Roland, you know of that community?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you for letting us know as well. Okay.
There's an area, a neighborhood in Angloga called Angloga Lashibi.
Okay. Thank you for letting us know as well.
And, one day I'll take you to that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take you to that.
I've been to Hoho in the Volta region. I loved the place.
You do.
I'm yet to explore other areas.
You should be like Ma, be exploring places in Ghana. I don't know why some of you. So that's what we have currently. But we'll be discussing this. There's also a topical issue. We'll be asking our guests next when they come on big issues. And Beatrice, you've seen the police brutalities meted out to the nursing training college students. We're told
who are protesting
in the Bono region. Is it the Bono region specifically? In Krobo, specifically in the Bono region. And they are protesting over what they call unfair management.
Yeah.
They said their dining food was not in good taste,
They
etc.
actually
And the way they've
management
been managed. And they wanted the head or the principal of the school
out
as well. And as a result of that, they had... is it a fisticuff for an interaction with the police leading
altercation, perhaps?
Altercation, yes.
Yes.
Because they also started throwing stones and then other implements. So the police also fired warning shots. I've seen the video. The question is, why should the police be high-handed on students? Couldn't they have found a better way to be able to calm the students down? And this one, squarely, is on the table of the Ghana Police Service. And so we'll be asking some key questions. Let me say good morning to you, the Director for Police Operations, Ghana Police Service, COP Tekujo. Wishing you all the best for the day as well. But again, I'm sure we can also get in touch and get to know what the latest is on the subject.
Indeed.
And get to know what the police is doing, not only to calm tensions, but also get to investigate the subject. It's a big issue, replicated across social media. The videos, just not nice, how the students were treated, but more importantly, the actions of personnel of the Ghana Police Service who were deployed to that incident site. And so we will take a look at that next on our agenda. But Beatrice, we have to go for a break.
Indeed. Kwame Asiditi, I have for Trinsua seen your message. Thank you for your messages, all of you who sent us your messages. And let me remind you that you can always wake up your day the Milky Way with a rich, smooth taste of peck milk shortcake. It is just pure delight. I'm getting one for Roland after the show this morning. And again, we're reminding you that you have to start playing *439#. You follow the prompt and you pick your favorite platform, which is right here on TV3 number 2. And if you play early and many times, we probably will have the opportunity to have our first draw to give out of the 1,000 cities to 3 of you, the first winner. So keep playing, and when we come back, of course, we'll bring you the big issue as well as sport.
Well, just in case you were watching, you saw me briefly and then I was faded out, yeah, because we're getting ready to make sure that we got everything in place and everybody well seated. But again, we have cash out. It goes with the shortcode *439#. Just in case you also want to be part of the lucky winners this morning, at least we can promise you based on what the numbers are and custodians from Radio Entertainment, 500 to 1,000 Ghana cedis for each of the winners in multiple times this morning. Just dial *439#, become one of those lucky winners. You can only do that if you increase the number of tickets or stakes. Very important for us. For those who have joined us on our social media handles, we're grateful. Prince Nania York is watching us from the UK. Nana, good morning to you. Justice lives in Finland. New Date Mills, good morning to you. You have a very beautiful family as well. Some Oyibo family, Obroni family as well. So New Date Mills, he lives in the UK. Yeah, Money, good morning. Thank you for watching us. I see Hadia as well. Please, just in case you experienced the power cuts this morning, we're told that some of you have started getting the lights on. Let us know in between the conversation this morning whether you have your lights back. Gridco has confirmed by early part of 3 a.m. the power went out, so let us know. I see Patrick, Samson as well, and a couple of you. Tema Community 25 is off, confirmed. And so that's coming from Ibrahim Krampa. Good morning to you as well, Mr. Krampa. So make sure you share the stream. Let's have some great conversation this morning. We told you we'll be focusing heavily on Galamsey. Our own sources and then reports are indicating from our correspondents that right as we call it under the nose of government officials, Galamsey is ongoing indiscriminately, as the word will be, and nothing is being done about it by officials appointed by the president, so representatives of the president, and nothing is being done about it. And we know that in the light of what the subject matters are, we need to ask the question, is government not only letting down its guard, but also turning a blind eye or playing ostrich when individuals associated with governments and then the NDC are undertaking Galamsey indiscriminately without recourse to what the clear regulations and laws are of our republic, yet not being brought to book, whilst others are being brought to book? It's a key question. And we'll tell you some of the areas that we already know, apart from the report also from other journalists or media houses as well on the subject. Please let us know where you're watching us from. TV3 Ghana is alive. TV3 Ghana on Facebook. We have YouTube. We have TikTok, X. And please let us know what the conversations are on the subject matter. And then, of course, we know that there are grounds of appeal for Wontumi as well. So his lawyers have stated some grounds of appeal. We'll try and touch base with that if we can. We'll speak to officials of the Ministry of Lands and then also speak to a number of the stakeholders. So we're going to have Dr. Ken Ashigbe also join us from the coalition. But right here in the studio, I have Joshua Jabuntie Zato of Sisala East joining me. Thank you for joining me as well. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland. Good morning.
Yeah.
This morning, I'm worried because the Ghana Statistical Services has just released a report.
Yesterday, they had some.
Yes, they're saying about 21.9, almost 22% of youth in Ghana are unemployed. And they're saying about 2 million youth in Ghana just idle, roaming about. They are not in school, they are not in training, they are not in anything. It's worrisome. And anybody, in fact, you can decide not to look at it even from the economic perspective, from the national security perspectives. When we were in school, there was always this mantra that the devil find hands for work for idle hands. So we need to be, as a country, it should scare us as a country, we should be worried. This is where I think that the 24-hour economy could have easily solved. The 133 formula could have solved it. It has not so. Please, all those in charge, don't even look at this from an economic perspective, look at it from a national security perspective, and the youth is being let down. What are we doing about it? Good morning.
Well, we also have the Member of Parliament for Akwitia, Right here, Lawyer Bidiapo, you've joined us. Good morning to you. How are your constituents?
Oh, we are doing well. Good morning to you and my able men. And good morning, especially to Dr. Zato, as usual. We would want to play politics with everything. I mean, yes, every day is what he just did. I mean, the statistics that has been released and connecting it to a 24-hour economy, he said it would resolve whatever and all that. I mean, it's pure politics. We know, but if we have time, we'll go into those matters.
Well, we're not discussing that.
We are
it's
not.
just an open comment.
I just want our viewers to know that this is what he does best, and that's best. I mean, we should just ignore him. I mean, we've had a problem as a country. It's an age-long problem. And so if we need to tackle this problem, because he was in power for 8 years, yes, you were a candidate of the party. Let's stop this. Let's proceed from there. You were in power, and for 8 years, you had some policies as one district, one factory. 8 years, 8. I didn't say 1.5. 8 years, one district, one factory. In the constituency you hail from, what is the name of the factory there? What do they produce? One village, one dam. In fact, later we heard that the dams were meant for only the northern sector. That wasn't the promise we initially got. But granted, that is the northern sector. Tell me the number of dams you have in the place you came from. I mean, for 8 years. So this is if it had worked, the one district, one factory had worked, we wouldn't have been getting these figures from Scientific Council.
Right.
So good morning to you and the very good people of Akwatia.
Please, let's keep it short. It's just an opening comment. I know you want to take a dig at each other on the subject matters.
Grateful.
Aaron, what do you also have up your sleeves? Now, I'm in the dark.
Roland, it is sad that
Good morning.
Those in government, good morning, and good morning to your viewers and to panel members I am sitting today with. It's a privilege, they are big men. But it is sad that those in government who are responsible for the menace and also to curb it or try to even do their part are rather shirking responsibility. Roland, I hold in my hand over here. I sent it to your producer. This is a letter dated the 18th day of March 2026 from Osman Ayariga, the CEO of NYA, complaining to the Speaker, reporting the Minister of Finance and the Administrator of Common Fund that, per law, they must receive 5% of the District Assembly Common Fund. In 2025, they only received 0.6%. And this year, not even a cedi has gone to NYA. Those in charge of youth development of this country. And we comment about it, and you are still running around with one district, one factory, and others. You have power. Deliver. Deliver, Honorable, stop that. This is National Youth Authority. Ato Fortin is not releasing money to them. How can young people be employed in this country? And we say it, and you are running around that one district, one factory. What are one district, one factory?
These are statutory funds.
Yes, release it. The money is there. Release it. Give it to them.
Who told you the money is there? Who told you the money is there?
Oh, but this is statutory.
Okay, Chairman. Solo. Welcome. Aaron, let's see a do entry.
Yes, sir. 2026 consolidation.
I'm very surprised that we have started on this note. We must sound nationalistic. Because for you to determine what is happening today is also to go to the past. Money is meant for creation of industries that would have given all these young ones employment, have been stolen by their own appointees. When you arrest them, then they quickly go and sit on the floor, complaining. You see,
You said you know the response.
Please end this in 60 seconds.
And so, for me, yes, the youth of this country needs job. It's the reason why this morning, you know, a couple of days ago, Valco, there seems to be some confusion. Mr. President, yes, you need private investor into Valco. However, the Arch Holdings Limited, you must take a second look at it. It is not a company that must lead this whole discussions, because it's not a company in good standing. And you cannot
Arch
allow
Holdings
Company Limited. This one today is a friendly fire. Mr. President,
is it a PDS type of special?
They must immediately, because when you make it a topic, we will go into it.
All right.
We will go into it proper.
Point made.
Valco is an asset, a national one that can turn around the fortunes of this country, and nobody must try to see it as his personal property. I will end it here.
consolidation.
We're told that based on what the business case is, you need at least $750 million in total to be able to revive Valco and then make sure that
there are investors available, correct ones.
Okay.
That are ready.
So they should choose the right ones.
As a matter of fact, because we cannot continue to ship our bauxite in this raw form. We agree. The reason Guidec was brought, and Guidec
we went to China some time ago.
That one was a disaster, Dr. Mamuba. It was a disaster. It was a pure disaster. Don't even go there.
Solo.
Pure disaster.
Hold your fire.
Dr. Mamuba in China.
All right.
No, but for 6 years, Alan was in charge of trade. What did he do?
Hey, then let's discuss it.
Please, gentlemen.
But are you a member of the MBB?
Gentlemen.
He's a concerned Ghanaian. He's a concerned Ghanaian.
Gentlemen.
When he was
now, you know that Eduji says that tells Solo that his blue is beautiful. And it's so obvious.
The Aztec.
Anyway, so you might have experienced, or you have experienced power outages since 3 a.m. Some say 2-point-something a.m. This morning. Gridco has come out with an official statement, but more importantly, it is also Jifa Bampo who is leading the communications this morning for the corporate communications section of Gridco. When it comes to speaking to the subject, Jifa Bampo has joined us from Gridco, the Ghana Grid Company. Good morning. Jifa Bampo, what can you tell us about what has been done so far from that statement you indicated to restore power? Because you said you were working with stakeholders. Where have you reached? Percentage of restoration?
Good morning, Roland, and good morning to your guests in the studio and your viewers. First, we'd like to apologize for this incident. It's a rare one, not one that occurs often, and so we sincerely apologize for everyone who's been impacted, whether they're a consumer or a business owner. Currently, we know that restoration is ongoing. It's been ongoing since the early dawn. We've picked some load, I understand, from the Akosombo generating station. There's the need, obviously, to pick more load. And so that work is ongoing. Efforts are underway. So the system control center is working with our partners, stations, like our substations across the country. We have about 68 of them, and we're also working with the generating stations to restore them, bring them on stream as soon as possible so that we can supply bulk power to ECG, and then ECG can onward distribute nationwide. So it's a painstaking process. There are protocols required to do this work, and we urge the public to have some patience for us whilst the engineers do this work, which is currently ongoing. And once again, we sincerely apologize for what has occurred.
Okay, just to get some clarity, from your statement, you mentioned national. Is it a national blackout, or was it a national blackout, so to speak?
It was widespread. I don't have the full details of how wide, but based on the information we've gathered, it's widespread. It's more beyond us here in Accra, obviously.
Okay. So the last question then, before I let you go, because you have to attend to others as well, is there some grading to the restoration? Is it going to be restored in bits, or in what way is it going to be done?
The way it works is when you bring on a generating station, then you have load, then you can transmit. So as we get more of the generating stations up and running, the power will be restored. So it's ongoing. It's ongoing. It's a process, and definitely every effort is being made to do it as quickly as possible. We are sensitive to the nature of power, and so efforts are being made to do that quickly. And that's why I indicated that the engineers have been already awake and at work since early dawn. We tried to put out some statement as early as we could because we know that we should inform the public. We don't have all the information currently, and that's why an investigation is also being done simultaneously. But the key priority now is to restore the power. When we get updated information or additional information, we will provide it to the public.
Jifa Bampo, thank you very much. Jifa Bampo giving us the latest and speaks for corporate communications for the Ghana Grid Company, giving us the latest. I have Tommy and I'm forcing among many others saying that, well, the power is back in their area, so we'll see. So the power is back. All right. So for those areas that the power is back, please let us know. William Evansinkum is our lead correspondent for Abirio when it comes to the middle section to by way of supervision, the northern half of our country. So he's the latest, has a number of intelligence reports, and then also has reported in a number of venues or areas where we have flagrant abuse of power when it comes to Galamsey by associates of not only the NDC, but also associates of the government. And the government and its appointees are doing nothing to rein in their own. Why? Now, Evans, what can you tell us? Where are the sensitive areas that so far you've made some discoveries and then picked up intelligence?
Well, so two districts, you can describe the situation as a disaster. One is the Jabin municipality, specifically an area we called Achiase. And I can tell you that bridge connecting Jabin municipality and that of Osumifra, who is still bridge, is now on the ground as a result of illegal mining. The Anum River, which travel beneath that steel bridge, has also been blocked because in the absence of the bridge, there should be a passage. And as a way to improvise or equality imposition, or to ensure that vehicles have access traveling or connecting these two districts, the illegal miners have dumped heap of sand just to ensure passage. So that is the situation in the Jabin municipality, specifically, you're talking about Achiase. Now, the latest situation is happening at the Obuasi municipality, and that's a hurry I describe or I call, because road leading to the Obuasi estate is also a disaster of scene. Tracts of land degraded, a number of illegal miners invaded that particular enclave. And I'm even told that last week, NIMOS struck, about 9 excavators were demobilized, but strangely, this week, and I'm talking about just last Monday, 3 of the excavators that were demobilized last week were still in operation as far as that particular enclave is concerned. And a drone shot just provides you with nothing of worry. I mean, things as far as the level of degradation is concerned.
There's an area you told me that it's close to an Agenda 111 hospital site.
Yes, so this particular story was reported in the early days of this month, around July 2nd, if my memory serves me right. And there were reports, of course, which also gone viral, that some illegal miners have approached a site in the Adanse Asokwa districts, specifically close to the Agenda 111 hospital. So the Regional Security Council went there sometime last week to, of course, after that particular report, Rexec had gone there to clamp down and also confiscate or impound some excavators. And so the degraded land was immediately given to an expert to declare. So the move by Rexec last week was to inspect the level of work as far as reclamation is concerned. Lo and behold, whilst reclamation was ongoing, another side of it, serious Galamsey was also happening. So that is the situation over there, Roland.
Well, thank you, William Evansinkum, our lead correspondent, monitoring the situation for us. And I can tell you he has sources close to NIMOS, as well as the team monitoring security in the Ashanti region as well, REXIC, as we have designated the acronym. but importantly as well, monitoring just outside the Ashanti region. He also have a lot of information on that subject. But alongside, we have other notable areas where we're told that it's happening right in front of a police station at Impoho, Fiase. And this one, the DCE is looking on, playing ostrich, doing nothing about it. We also have implicated Obuasi West Vice Chairman of the NDC. He's been on radio as well as other media platforms, rebutting and then reacting and even calling the bluff of officialdom that nobody can do anything to him. The NDC Obuasi West Vice Chairman allegedly also says that as well. And then we have the Member of Parliament for Akemodan saying that he's been doing that consistently over the last year or so, that his MC is complicit. We've had a reaction from the NCE, one Solomon Brakun, claiming that he's not complicit. However, the MP insists that he's complicit, and still, publicly, nobody has told us what investigations have been commenced against such officials of government, importantly, and then as signs of the NDC, because they are the governing party in power. And then when you go to Brim Central, the MC is also fending off allegations that he's not involved in Galamsey, to the point that now he's even making a claim and daring the gods of the Birim River that he's not involved. And if they like, those gods should kill him, so to speak. And I don't know how spirituality works with actions that need to be undertaken by officials of government. And then there are bona fide fiduciary responsibilities that they have to mete out to the people for which they've been appointed, and that nothing is being done. Now let's watch, and this is this very police station we're talking about. This is the Mpoho area. Okay, Fiase, Mpoho Fiase. And this one is like 5 meters. Or on TV, I'm seeing it as 5 meters. Could be maybe 50 meters, so to speak. And this is a police station. A nicely decorated, built police station. And around the police station, fencing this police station, are Galamsey activities. And the police looking on, playing ostrich, as if nothing is happening. Right in the front of the police station. The police station has armory. They are also cloaked with all the powers to effect arrest, if they have to effect arrest at all. And just within that area, they also have an oversight, either MC or DCE. And then even outside the jurisdiction of that MC or DCE, they also have the regional minister. Everybody is looking on. And I've already indicated the areas as well. Now, these are known prone Galamsey areas that we've always known. I'm saying before 2016, then we had all the activities, 2017, 18, and then now still ongoing, despite the promises that were made by government in opposition. And look, pure distraction. The Honorable Bedi Akon of Akwitia, what will be your response to this? Please clear your throat.
Thank you. For the last time. Well, so, look, let me put it bluntly, that, yes, we indeed, as a party before the elections, promised to deal with the issue of illegal mining. Now, per the reports you are given, at least, I've seen pictures of what seemed to be some mining of a sort in front of a police station. There can never be any justification for this. There can never. And you see, so after I'm done with my submission, you will see the difference between us and them. I won't sit here and in any way or manner seek to justify what is happening. Look, the police, if it is I don't know whether it's a district police or it's a police station. Look, the head and the police officers at that end, that very police station, must be called to answer questions. I will not go for a regional minister who may be so many miles away from there. Indeed, I will not even be, side with you in calling out the DC yet. Because the one that has power of arrest is the one that is seated resides in that building close to where the Galamsees are. Let him, and I've said it also, I think on this show, on your Saturday program, I don't subscribe to this whole, conversation about always calling politicians out, except you give me reason that the politician is the one that is sabotaging the work of the law enforcement officers.
I don't understand you.
Okay, so this is it.
Who represents?
It's not about who represents. The power of arrest is with the law enforcement. Hold it.
Who has?
So please, if you heard me, having condemned it, the DC cannot go there and arrest. He goes there with the police or the law enforcement agencies. Unless the law enforcement agencies come to tell me, no, you see, these things we do, for all you know, without prejudice, for all you know, the law enforcement agencies or the officers may even be complicit. It happens, for all you know. And I'm saying this because of what I sometimes know. Why are we not calling them out? So they come and tell us that I made an arrest, but the DC told me to leave them off the hook. Then we will get to the DC, and I will never defend any DC that sees this and then proceeds as though nothing is happening. Do you understand the point I'm making? So first and foremost, look, find out which police station it is. If it is the charge officer, it is the whatever, please call him and ask him. I would be glad. Call him and ask him whether he's seen what is there. If you call him and he tells you that, yes, I made an attempt, but the DC or the regional minister said I should leave them, then you call them and ask them. Because you see, sometimes these things we do, we often do this, and then the people who are supposed to safeguard our laws are left off the hook just because they are not politicians. I will never look. If any DCE knows about this, and the law enforcement officers, damn the consequence. Don't tell me they are afraid. We will not take it. If you can't do your work unless you are whatever pushed around by a politician, then you are not in business. Because we can't continue like this. We promise the people that we will not so pretend over such illegalities. It can never happen. That I will not even ask of permit. That mining cannot happen where it did. So it is a complete illegality without prejudice. So let us call them out. Let's not do this and the program ends tomorrow. There is another issue and we come back to discuss it. Call them out. Where did it happen? Where is the site? Where is the police station? It is in this area. Who is the officer there? Whether it's a district police officer or whatever officer. Call him and ask him, have you seen what is happening? What have you done about it? That is what I will go for. You see, we know we have a problem. The problem is not really my issue. How to deal with it is the issue. And it is an age-long problem. It's not as if it just came. But we cannot continue like this. We cannot. Nobody is saying there shouldn't be mining. But you cannot mine, and they even left it. Look at what has happened. You see the pits, very dangerous. You see the pits as they are. Just watch what you are put. So there is no justification for this. But I would rather suggest that, you see, when it happens like this, let us find out where it is. Like your reporter is saying, let him get the police officers who are there, call them to this show, and then ask them questions and let them answer.
You're a member of parliament, aren't you? And before you became a member of parliament, an experienced practicing lawyer, right?
Yes.
Okay. The police power of arrest.
Yes.
That is clothed in law, right?
Yes.
But within the jurisdiction where they operate, their head is a member of whether it's the DISEC.
He's the head of DISEC.
And then they have the MISEC.
Yes, DI or MI, depending on municipal.
Because you said we shouldn't go to region. You said it's far off.
Well, then
they have MUSEC as well, and the rest, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the head is the chief executive. Is that not? Is that not so? Then they have the allied state security agencies as well. Are you saying that nobody takes notice of these, and it has to be a station officer who could be compromised or not compromised to take action over a jurisdiction?
Yes, so if you are compromised, it means we shouldn't even have this discussion. You should suffer the consequence. I'm saying the DC does not have power of arrest. Get me? There is DISEC, there is MUSEC. You see, these things, we do this and we get the people who are supposed to act get left off the hook. The DC does not have power of arrest. Nowhere. In fact, he is supposed to move if he has to with the security officer. And the security, I don't even know the miles away from, the district assembly or the municipal assembly. I don't know what it is. And then where the residents of the DC or whatever. I don't know how many kilometers or how many meters away from where this thing is happening. But we've seen a police station, the people who have power of arrest. My brother, I will not go beyond those who have the power of arrest for now and go and ask the DC. They have power of arrest. Let them come and tell us that they made a move and somebody stopped it. Then we will get to whoever stopped it. But in the meantime, I will not leave those who have power of arrest, which is the police, and then move to the DC. That would not be fair for now. For now, and I insist that for now. Except I have reason to believe that a politician is behind it.
I haven't said a politician.
No, I said I. Unless I have reason to believe that a politician is frustrating the job of the law enforcement officers. For now, I don't. So I will not leave the police and then go and ask the DC. We do this all the time. Because the DC, look, even if he goes there without the police, he cannot arrest them. He doesn't have power of arrest. The regional minister, no. It is a committee. And he sits on the committee. And it is a different committee. It is a committee, not an institution that has power of arrest. So that is it. You see, for me, and I'll tell you what, we have operatives around. In the meantime, this particular one, yes, we have, and then NIMOS and all that. But you see, those ones are ad hoc committees. If it when we are talking about Galamsey and it's whatever. So we have the police everywhere. I have said that, look, one of the ways we can use to cure this mischief is to perhaps all the security, because of course every district has them, all the security heads of those districts be called, including the DC or MC. Tax them. That look, this thing should not happen. If it does, you will lose your job. We can do that. But you see, including not just the politicians, that is why we are losing this fight. Tax the technocrats that go after them. Go after them. There is a challenge. Do you know, in fact, as I yesterday, I belong to the committee, or I'm a member of the Committee of Mines and Natural Resources in Parliament. We've been working on ratification. Today, we will even continue the meeting. Ratification of some mining leases. And there is this issue as to whether those who have been given mining leases can even continue to mine without the ratification. You know what the law says. Look, anybody that is giving mineral resources, lease to mine mineral resources, needs a ratification for. It doesn't matter whether you are a small scale or large scale miner. How many of them? And the minister told us yesterday that if that is the case, then they have thousands of such. People who have even done the mining and have left without the ratification. How many of them have water resources, commission permits, environmental protection permits, and all that? But the other challenge I have with this, the people who, we deployed to fight this menace. NIMOS. And those, not the police actually, but I'm talking of those ad hoc, whatever we put up. Look, when they go to site, yes, I'll end with that. When they go to site, how are they able to even interpret the site plans that are shown to them, those who claim
in terms of map out?
Because every site, every lease would even have that attached to it, the site plan. So I have said that we have to invest so much in even training people to understand the operations of these miners, so as to be able to interpret any document that is even given out to them. But at the moment, I think that for what we are seeing, it doesn't even come close to, a site that has lawfully been given out to someone to mine. And I would respectfully pray that if it is possible, find out which area is that, Which area is that?
Yafiase Mpoho area.
The Mpoho area. Don't call the politician. Call the police.
Okay.
And find out what they have done about it before we
Shadrach,
proceed.
let's get to work the lines and see whether we can get to the jurisdiction of the police. Zato, your response to this?
Thank you. In the run-up to the 2024 elections, Galamsey was a major point. It featured prominently. Thousands, if not millions, of Ghanaians voted because of Galamsey. They voted because they believed that the NDC and their candidates then preferred or tabled better alternatives and better solutions to dealing with an existential crisis. If you voted for the NDC because you think that they had a better plan to solve Galamsey, you have been scammed. You have been deceived. Since the NDC took power, they have made it clear that their approach to Galamsey is lazy and their approach to Galamsey is not scientific. Since the NDC took power, they have decided that it is better to play optics with fighting Galamsey than to deal with it seriously. One of the men that you said you were going to bring made a point, Asigbe. He said, and it's on record, that with the turn of the government, NPP criminals in Galamsey have been replaced by NDC criminals in Galamsey. What we are seeing is a failure of government. What we are seeing is a failure of governance. What we are seeing is a failure of legitimacy and is a betrayal of trust when it comes to Galamsey. Please understand this. Chairman Wontumi is currently sitting in prison in Sawam. His crime was that he allowed or he transferred rights or whatever it is of his Galamsey to somebody to do Galamsey. Not that he, Chairman Wontumi, was doing Galamsey, but that he gave those rights to somebody to do Galamsey. Either it's negligence or it's the law, you have no right to do that. He did that, he's currently sitting in jail. There is a DCE who is watching whilst Galamsey is going on right in front of him. The last time it was Galamsey just behind an Agenda 11 hospital. We all saw it. The other time it was Galamsey. We are now being told that Galamsey is threatening Lake Busomtwi. The president made a personal vow. He said that his appointees will be held accountable for two main things. One, sanitation, and two, Galamsey, wherever it is. So far, absolutely no government official or appointee has been held accountable for either of these issues. So the promise the president made, was it a hoax? Was it real? If Chairman Wontumi today sits in prison because he allowed somebody to use his things, and today there are people whose complicity is leading to this to be worsened, then Chairman Wontumi has been jailed for absolutely no reason. If after jailing Chairman Wontumi, people are still not scared that his jailing has not forced or compelled government appointees into action, to say, whoa, look at what has happened. Let's be scared. Let's jump into action and use that for action, then we have failed this country, and that the jailing of Chairman Wontumi has been useless. I sat here last week and I made a point. The two things happened. There were patriots one early Wednesday morning who died in a helicopter crash because they were on their way to solve Galamsey. And everybody said that death should have been our coming to Jesus moment. We rally a country around to fight Galamsey. We failed those patriots and we failed ourselves. I also sat here and I said that the jailing of Chairman Wontumi should also be considered as a coming to Jesus moment for public appointees, for people with so much power to wake up from their slumber and say, hey, if Wontumi is sitting in prison, I could be sorry they will be forced to act. It has not so happened. The question we are asking now is, what do we want to see happen? The Ghana Catholic Bishop Conference went to the president. The CSOs went to the president, and they professed a solution. They said, Mr. President, declare a state of emergency. The president said that no, he was trying his way before, and that it was not time for state of emergency. There is absolutely nobody in this country that can tell us that we are winning the fight against galamsey. There is nobody in the country that can tell us that we have even stopped it. We have stopped the bleeding in galamsey. There is nobody who can tell us that there is any evidence anywhere to show that maybe we have even started to try to turn it, I know. So, Mr. President, whatever formula you have is not working. Whatever medicine you think you have is not working. The question I want to ask is, why is it not working? And what scares me? What scares me is not that galamsey is happening. What scares me, one, is the impunity and the normalization of galamsey. That's what scares me. We are normalizing it. All of a sudden, we are making galamsey look like, because if you are not even afraid of a police station, that's like a thief standing in front of the police and say, hey, this is what I stole, and daring them. The normalization of galamsey scares me. Two, what scares me is that people are calling the president's bluff. His own appointees are calling his bluff. He says, DCEs, I will hold you accountable for galamsey. They are like, bring it on, Mr. President. He's saying security agencies, I will hold you accountable, and they are telling Mr. President, bring it on. Why is the president not bringing it on? Why do you allow your own appointees to call your bluff? And that is what they are doing. They are calling, that is what scares me. And whilst all this is happening, last week, the Minister of Finance presented the media review. And if you look at Ghana's exports, there are three main things that are brought up: gold, cocoa, and oil. Revenue from gold alone makes about 2/3 of the revenue coming to the government. This galamsey will not stop today because we are now in what can be described as a galamsey economy. Gold is the one sustaining this country. Gold from galamsey makes its way to the revenue of government.
But gold has always sustained Ghana's economy.
Agree, but the percentage, I'm talking about the percentages. I told you just about 2/3 of the income was coming from gold. That's what I've said. From the government.
So we've always had it.
But it has not always been 2/3. Has it always been 2/3?
I mean, since from infancy, in the
yes, gold has always been here. It has gold, cocoa, then later oil. But I'm not telling you the margins and the percentages.
Then we had tourism and.
Agreed. But I'm saying right now.
Remittances.
Thank you, all of that.
So what's your point with the
My
gold?
point is that gold is now having an oversized proportion to the income from exports, and that part of that gold is galamsey gold, and that is probably
You're
why
surmising, because that's
I'm surmising. Yes, I'm surmising. I'm theorizing. I'm hypothesizing. Whatever you call it, my theory, my hypothesis is that precisely because gold prices in the international market are so high, and precisely because government is making so much money from gold, there is a turning of the blind eye to whatever that is happening to our rivers, to our forests, to our Gajaneba, to our police stations, all in the name of what? Saving the economy. And that is irresponsibility, and that is complicity.
Aaron, is he doing tree?
Roland.
Your 7 minutes.
Roland, back to it. You see, Dr. Zato makes it clear that galamsey was so much heavy on the banner in the 2024 electioneering campaign. And that is true. That led to President Mahama's NDC then at chapter 4.3 of their manifesto, which is pages 77 to 80. They made 18 promises on galamsey. 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 18 promises on galamsey. On top of them was calling for a state of emergency. On top of them. And they made so much noise. There was so much demonstration, so many demonstrations on the street of this country, calling on government to call for a state of emergency. I thought, indeed, that when President Mahama assumes power, the first thing he would do was to call for the state of emergency. The first thing President Mahama did was to appoint Minister Amabua, who was then a huge critic of this. In fact, he professed the state of emergency. He described this on Sunday, one hot Sunday. He professed the solution of state of emergency. Do you know the interesting thing? When he became a minister responsible for lands and natural resources, on another hot Sunday afternoon, he called for press conference. He decided to now turn himself to an actor and cried. And throughout the press conference, he did only one thing: cancel the license of Akunta mining. He cried about galamsey, thinking that he was going to solve it. My brother, galamsey has taken 8 gallant men of this country who were on their way to solve this. And today you see the video that was playing about Obuasi. It was an airstrip area. The said helicopter should have landed. And they have died. 8 people. Look at it. This is Obuasi. Look at it, and you have the Obuasi West vice chairman of the NDC calling the bluff of this government and security agencies that if they dare, they should come and arrest him on that. You stated it over here, and that is what we are facing. My brother, after the incident of having 8 gallant men of this country, including 2 cabinet ministers, dying due to Galamsey, we had Minister Ablakwa of Foreign Affairs now stating that the government is going to wage a strong war against Galamsey. He said all these things, and my brother, it was just fracadam. And I'll tell you why. It was scam and scandalous for him to even make that statement. In somewhere last year, September, when the president met the press, the president told us that he, as the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces and also the chairman of the National Security Council, he is very much aware that his own party people are deeply involved in Galamsey. And you find the chairman of the National Security Council telling you this and going to sit astray. Why would we all not sit in this country to have
what
the attorney general?
That he will not be surprised.
He will not. What is he? Are we not seeing Yamin and Abanga, who serves as his national executive members, deeply involved in Galamsey, and the attorney general
Yamin
referring
has
them?
Come out publicly to
what
say
is Yamin?
That
it is not about Yamin. It is about Yoko acting and giving us the report. We've not seen it.
He's not complicit. That's his
my brother. Look at this gentleman. He's called Michael Kwejo Pepra. No, the Michael Kwejo Pepra. He actually paraded himself in this country as small-scale mining chairman and whatsoever, going on media station, bashing the MPP. Nobody endorses Galamsey, must be kept. This gentleman has been arrested by NIMOS. Ask me what has happened to Michael Kwejo Pepra. Michael Kwejo Pepra crime in this country has no expiry date. And if you know, go and report yourself early for you to be prosecuted before the MPP comes to power. It's no 2 minutes. Don't do that.
I count 2 minutes.
Please.
Yeah, wrap up.
You see, people are emboldened. I'll come to the Fiase matter. People are emboldened because what is happening in this country. In order, Shadrach should help me display it. The Order MC has institutionalized it. And he's taking taxes. He's fining people for doing Galamsey instead of prosecuting them.
He said it's not true.
It's not true. I'm going to provide a receipt, and Shadrach should help me display that. It is only Article 174 of this Constitution that clearly tells you that it is only Parliament that can tax. Solomon Kusi Brako is sitting in order taxing Galamsey. Is he not tacitly implicit in this?
If
what
I
is
remember
happening?
vividly, he did
My
say
brother,
that it was an ongoing tool.
I'm going to prove
that has been.
I am going to prove to you that he, as MC, is taxing Galamsey, and Shadrach have given it to you. Please, I don't know why it is delaying. It should be displayed. My brother, then again, the Asutifi North MP has been on record and has been arrested in this country for conspiring with the youth of a certain time, I think, Achencio or so. If I've gotten the name wrong, I should be corrected. He was arrested and he has been arraigned before court. We've heard nothing for actually organizing the young people in this country to maim NIMOS officials at the police station. NDC officials, my brother. I don't want to hold brief for Honorable Sophia Obin, the MCE or the DCE at Fiase. She's failed on this. Nobody should run away from it. The police over there have failed us. And the sad thing is that we should call on the member of parliament over there. He's called Bentel. Bentel is the CEO of Divine Link Gold Buying Company. He should be very much interested because you see, when Sophia Obin, I've given another picture to Shadrach. I don't know why he's not displaying it for me. When Sophia Obin, who came from outside the country, abroad, to be MCE or DCE in the area, decided to fight it. Then you have the voice of the member of parliament going out that the DCE must go. So sometimes the DCE will now think of protecting her job. Please. Galamsey is a menace. When it gets to a certain point, it will not even discriminate between whether you are MPP or NDC. This is high time we all come together to deal with this. We shouldn't excuse the DCE. The police over there should be called. The member of parliament has absolute responsibility to deal with this. And let's call on them.
Roland. This is what we do and makes the discussion of the subject matter very difficult.
You think we muddy it when we just
because you see,
rabble rouse? Is that what you're claiming?
Yes, because the point is that when you have representation from MPP who lost power only a little under 2 years ago, that we discussed this subject matter vividly here. In fact, you were the host. At that time, what was their position? That is why I was thinking that this morning they will move away from that and first admit that we failed. It's the reason why we were booted out of office. So if you have come, this is our advice to you. Make sure you do not follow or go on the trajectory that has led us to this path. Next week, Thursday, will mark exactly a year since our brothers Omane Boama, Mutala, and all those gallant men, and there wasn't any woman, died on that journey. They were going to inaugurate a community mining of a sort or to deal with this Galamsey menace. Unfortunately, they died on the way. Once again, their death will be meaningless until what they stood for is actually dealt with. We lost Major Mahama, and it did not bring any relief or resolution of the matter. And so it seems to me that we have genuinely bad people who are leading us, genuinely bad people. People that largely do not want to see this country grow from strength to strength. That would need a hand that is heavy from the president to deal with it.
You know, there's, over the period,
yes,
we've had the minister,
yes,
who has been addressing us.
Yes.
That's Minister Boa.
Yes.
Who has come again based on what we've also reported.
Yes.
Where forest areas.
Yes.
We've had those Galamsey Reading forest areas reclaimed. I think nine of them.
They told us. They told us.
Now, the question then is, we go to areas, we raid people off.
Yes.
And then we have people going back.
Yes.
To the point that now we have assigns of the NDC
yes.
in power.
Yes.
And then sometimes individuals linked to government.
Yes.
Who go publicly
yes.
on media platforms today. Does it then mean that perhaps those who have been appointed to those areas to take the actions,
yes.
whether it's security, clamp down, etc., are not doing their work, not helping the minister and then the government, or the government generally is just sitting aloof and looking on?
They are all complicit. The decision makers are complicit in this. You see, recently we discussed Chairman Wuntumi's court issue here. Is that not the case? And then we discussed the judgment. Let me read a portion of it for you to understand the enormity of the problem that we are dealing with. I was thinking that by now, the former regional minister of Western Region should be investigated. You know, he was a witness in that matter. He went there as a regional minister. Now listen to the PW2, that is Okun, in an answer to a question. He said, so now this is the question from Andy Appiah. So now that you understand that there are two entities separately identified, the question now is, did you receive any permission from A3, that is Akonta Mining Company Limited? Listen to the Okun speaking here. I do not know Akonta Mining or Akonta Company. And again, before I went there, it was Chairman Wuntumi who went to do the operation on the ground for me through Regional Security Council. Are you listening to me? Through Regional Security Council, and the letter the letter that we wrote to Rexel was on Akonta Mining letterhead. What I'm saying is that for you to be able to mine or do any illegal mining in any locality, first of all, you need to go through the Regional Security Council, as has been established by Okum here, which was not denied. Now you ask yourself, who is the boss or chair of the Regional Security Council? It's a regional minister. Is that not the case? If you look at our Security and Intelligence Act, if you go to any district and have the dissect, it is a district chief executive. It comprises of the district chief executive, the district police commander, the area commander, the security intelligence person, the crime officer, and so on, the immigration officer. These are the people responsible for the security of an area. And you know, we keep saying that Galamsey is not done in secrecy. It's an open enterprise. So for people to be bold to be doing this means they have the full backing of authority. Without that, how would he survive?
Shouldn't they be taking action by now?
That is
why the president firing them.
It is long overdue. You see, President Mahama, once again, the people of this country want to see you leave a legacy. That legacy must include dealing constructively and precisely with Galamsey. Other than that, all the things that you are doing will come to a naught. If currently we are being told by experts that 4 million Ghanaians are suffering from kidney-related issues, and that one would need about 300,000 Ghana cedis to deal with it. If you don't deal with this problem, what will be happening is that you will be growing your economy to be spending the money in the health sector. And what would you have done? And I'm saying that these ones, we know those that are doing the Galamsey. If you go to any area, yeah, look, you don't need any superficial intelligence. Just ask the taxi drivers in every area. They will tell you who the site owners are. You understand? Every 100 meters, I told you that I took a journey from Takwa to Dunkwa. And every 100 meters from a security police barrier, they were doing Galamsey. At the point I asked the security officer, is it the case that you people collect daily sales or what? Can't you see what is happening? Then they will tell you, what is for?
So he should dismiss and prosecute.
He must dismiss and prosecute. You see, the Wontumi law must be fresh in everyone's memory. And that is not to say I disagree entirely with, what's the name, Zato, when he says that it will come to a naught. At least a journey of 1,000 miles begin with a step. The step is to go after the kingpins. And now it won't be seen. So all those that are involved must be brought to book and not to allow them to go scot-free. But then, my brother, sometimes I get worried. You see, we had an occasion in this country where the sector minister, Otufo himself had to come out and say that the sector minister was even trying to convince him not to talk about Galamsey. Why are you not in this country? So we are doing something that is not good to the development of this country. And I believe that all those areas that Galamsey is going on, the president has one thing to do, one and only one thing. You fire your DC, you fire all the police commanders over there, and we prosecute them. How can we have Galamsey very close to a police station, and the police commander is collecting salary, and the district chief executive? Look, in the case of Obuasi, I listened to the chief executive over there. She has given up. So we are talking to Anglo God Ashanti to give us a land so that we push all the Galamseyers there. Were you not in this country? In this studio, you interviewed the boss of EPA, Professor Kluche. That was telling you that she had to run for her life in the same Obuasi. We had the 9 months boss that said that he survived by the mercy of God. When a military person tells you that I survived by the mercy of God, it means the situation is not as easy as that.
It's dire.
Look, Lake Busontre. People are close, mining close to there. And who told you we don't know them? When it happens that we have the regional security, so we are dealing with it. My difficulty is that, we are nowhere near election 2028, right? When it's getting closer to election, that's where Galamsey intensify. Even now that we are not getting to election, you can't deal with them. Then what will be the fate of this country when we are getting closer to elections? People must be told in the face, look, all that is beneath the earth, we need it. Yes, we are a Gold Coast. Nobody is denying that. But there are responsible ways. Our concern is that the responsible way must be applied.
Okay.
And I have looked at the NDC's own manifesto. I bet you you lied in there. Because I was going to take them on.
No, I'm going to.
They don't have anywhere that the president, because I have been looking at, I have everybody's manifesto.
But they gave a commitment.
They gave a commitment. I have checked it. The aspect that he says that they were going to apply what state of emergency was never part of their promise. No, it wasn't. I have read it. I mean, the things that they promised, they have done the tree life. I've gone to yesterday night, I was taking them. There are other aspects that they are yet to do that I believe that they have to do it. It's very, very important. Including
dismiss and prosecute.
Absolutely. He has to.
All right.
Now, coming to Yamin and Abanga, I have heard Yamin himself call for expedited action. I believe that Yoko would do Yamin the greatest service by finalizing this, because it is hanging around. If he is complicit, he must be prosecuted immediately. But in the same vein, remember when the Attorney General was writing that letter to Iyoko, he said Professor Fimpo Boate's report must also be what? Investigated. Conveniently.
Retrospect.
Our brothers will just leave that one and go and settle on. No, but I believe if they have done anything wrong, the Wontumi law must apply.
And well, alongside many other key stakeholders is a key individual in Ghana who also intensified all this pre-2017, post-2016 as well, and has been leading the media coalition against Galamsey up to today and hasn't relented. Dr. Ken Ashigbi is a convener, Media Coalition Against Galamsey, and is right on string. Good morning to you, and you are monitoring this. You have always said that those who have been so-called fingered close to not only NDC, but also the other political stakeholders and government especially should be dismissed and prosecuted. How more can you drum home this?
Thank you very much. Again, when I see us try to do politics with an existential threat, my heart bleeds because you see, when the thing we engineered in Samra Boy, when the storm responded and nature responded, when it was coming, it didn't ask whether you were NDC or MPP or you were Afrafranto before flooding the homes. The renal diseases that are on the increase, it's not asking any of those questions.
Please put your video on. It looks like we can't see your video.
Oh, sorry. I pray that all of us, you see, realize the fact that this beast we're dealing with is eating us up right to the core. And you know, again, I say it, when you have a police station, and what my fellow colleague mentioned on that road from Takwa, you know, through Wasa, Kropon, Ayamfuri to Dunkwa, you know, and you see all the police posts that are on the way. There's an immigration post that is very close, about 50 meters from it. You know, somebody is hiring, you know, some Galamsey equipment right there. And you see a police station where Galamsey is happening at that point. Those police commanders are either grossly incompetent or neck deep and incomplicit in this crime that is being committed. You know, and the DCs in those communities, how can they be expecting us to be asking the president to come from Accra or the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources to also come from Accra to come and deal with this? Galamsey is a national challenge, but the solutions are very local. The solutions are very local.
Meaning what?
Pardon?
Meaning what? What do you mean by the solutions are local?
So, you know, the actors who are on so again, you find out that the DISEX and the MUSEX, you know, are the security committees in the committees are headed by the DCs or the MCEs. And you have the police commanders, you have the security, you know, the BNIs and all of that sitting on those committees. And we are deciding that these people are doing this and we are allowing them to go scot-free. I plead with His Excellency the President. One of the things he said was that Galamsey, you know, was going to be a KPI for the MCEs and the DCs. Up to today, no MCE or DC has been dealt with or held accountable even administratively for these things that they are doing. You know, and you wonder when we're going to do that. But for me, again, I'm happy that the call that we have done, you know, ever since 2017, about the fact that the kingpin should be punished, that His Excellency the President in October 2024 also alluded to and said that even when he came, he was going to even grant amnesty to, you know, the pawns that are arrested, you know, in the fields and make sure we punish the kingpins. We're wondering where we're going to do that. So that's why I disagree very humbly that when we find DCs and MCs who go onto the field and are issuing permits to people at the theater of a crime or equipment that the government itself has prescribed. So you look at the issues of charm funds, you look at the issues of one leg, and they are giving permits to that. And an investigation is done. It is said that, oh, it is internally generated funds, and all we're going to do is to give them some training or something. These are people who are committing crimes. If you look at the Minerals and Mining Act as amended in 2019, facilitating Galamsey, it's a crime. It's, you know, and so for somebody who gives people permits to go and do, what is he doing? He's facilitating that, you know. So that issue, and again, there's evidence, to show that. So nobody should. And again, we've been told that it was happening before even this government came into power. And that's the interesting thing about the criminal law. It has no time bar. So we should be able to go back and make sure that all those DCs that have done that, all those coordinating directors that have done that, they should all be hauled before court and make sure that we are punishing them. How is it that we've had the situation where the MP for our win has been accused by his traditional leaders of being involved in Galamsey? And he says it's not true. He counter-accuses, these traditional leaders. And up to date, we've not seen, the investigations of that. There is a Richard Entry, the Bosomtri area that we're talking about, where they are mine. I understand he and others are the ones who are responsible for that. How is it that he's not currently, we don't know that he's been arrested, and some investigations is happening. If you go around the Bekwai Road, on the Bekwai Road, there's a marshland there, who somebody is mining there, by the side of the road, hidden in plain sight. How is it that that person has not been arrested? Because he said they had thrown Arcomdev letter. I had asked the then head of Arcomdev, who's now currently gone back to Minerals Commission and another, but she said they have not given any permit. That person should be arrested immediately. You see, so for me, I was on a program with Honorable Inusa Fuseni, and he says that for Akunta Mining, it's his insurance that has expired because, again, because his government is not in power. And for me, it confirms it. You remember the question I asked His Excellency the President then about Akunta Mining? And his answer to me about the fact that Akunta Mining was not involved in Galamsey as we speak. I'm praying that it's not because these people too are in power. That is the reason that their insurances have not expired. That's why they are not being arrested. It is important that His Excellency demonstrates, that consistency. And fortunately for us, this is a president who's also demonstrated that, he's jailed his people before. So he's done it before. He should do it. We are going very soon, the Media Coalition Against Galamsey and the Coalition Against Galamsey Ghana. We're going to be compiling names of all of these people who have been mentioned, where, our members also have some evidence, to back some of them. Like the issue that is happening where now they've gone to, they are owing ECG some 5 million. The Obuasi area that we are talking about, ECG should also find out when they try going to those communities to go and disconnect power to those people who are doing Galamsey on that the airport road. They are not able to do that. If we go, so all I will ask is TV3, let's go and just look at the receivable list of ECG in all of these mining communities. You will find out that the reason why, the commercial losses for even ECG is high, it's also linked to Galamsey. And so these things, we should be dealing with them with the alacrity and the urgency that is required. Because these people are raping our land. They are destroying everything that we can hold on to. And, at the end of the day, they are not leaving anything to us. Do you know that small-scale mining did 52% of the gold output for Ghana? And the only taxes GRA can attribute to them is 500,000 cedis for 2025. How do we sit and allow this thing to happen? Apart from the fact that they will not also post any reclamation bond, they will not mine responsibly. They are using the mercury, all that, and they are damaging us. And we're sitting and we're allowing that to happen. I completely agree with my previous speaker spoke before me. That the challenge we have is that we are not dealing decisively with those who are involved in it. Professor Frimpong Boaten's report is replete with a lot of politically exposed persons who are involved in that. Nothing has happened to it.
All right. Okay.
So I think that it is important as we speak that for all of us as Ghanaians, we need to start asking His Excellency the President to deal with that. And unfortunately, the window is closing. Because as was said again, as we get close to an election, it is the same thing that happened in the NDC, the MPP side. And, the fight was intensified when we're getting close to an election. Then we left it. So if we don't deal with this thing this year,
all right,
it would completely,
backfire in our faces.
Eat us up.
All right. Thank you very much, Engineer Kenashigbe, for helping us and contribute from your point of view and then you monitoring the situation from the coalition's end. Lawyer Bediako, so how do we deal with the subject matter? Because the ministry seems to be doing some work, get good results, immediately they are away, the various assigns left on the ground just don't seem to be carrying on with the work that they do.
You see, thank you so much. It is understandable, I mean, and that you have my brothers here, of course, for the kind of expectations they have of this government. It is understandable. And so we take all the criticisms in good faith. But what we will not accept is the sheer hypocrisy they
What
display.
do you mean?
The hypocrisy they display here. You come and tell us that the mere mention of someone, Yamin is mining, Galamsey, tell us where the site is. Never try to compare that with Wontumi, because as for Wontumi, he said that this is my site. The site had been mined. He said, please allow. Because you see, I thought we were being nationalistic. But what they've displayed here, we have Frimpong Boaten's report. Let me give you a few. Maybe we've forgotten. And it's good the Attorney General said we should go into that. When the president rubbished the entire report, that is a cabinet minister. We've never seen that in the history of Ghana. A cabinet minister who was responsible for illegal mining. Look, do you know the people he indicted?
Who are the people?
So I'll give you a few. He indicted the following. Kojo also a free deceased. Because he's deceased, you know our culture. I don't want to talk about Sir John. He also indicted Gabi Ochredako. He said Gabi called him and told him that he was lawyer for. Look, things have happened in this country. Don't go there. He also indicted Kojo Opon Kroma. This is a cabinet minister talking. It's not one of these things, those people out there who talks and you don't even know what they are saying. That is a cabinet minister. He said Kojo Opon Kroma had a plan to bring him down because he was fighting Galamsey. This is from what is not me. Now he also indicted Yao Osafo Mafu. Can you imagine? He indicted Osafo Mafu. He also indicted Charles Owusu. He indicted Joseph Albert Kwam. In fact, Albert Kwam, he said he had gone for a big concession, was selling it at $200,000 to people. This is what they did. These people who are pontificating today. This is their record. This is what by a cabinet minister. This report came from their own cabinet minister. Now, Lord Comey, do you know what they said about it? He said he was supporting illegal miners and interfered in Professor Frimpong Boaten's quest to fight them. He also indicted S.K. Buafu, who was then the Minerals Commission chairperson. He indicted him. He also came to indict my own good friend, Protozua, who is now a member of parliament.
He's your good friend?
Yes, he's my friend. We are both in parliament.
Okay.
He indicted him.
He's your colleague member of parliament?
Yes. He indicted him, and even Kweku Baku. And go and read the report, and you understand what has happened.
I've read the report.
And you see how damning the report is.
The report is damning. Indeed, when the report was leaked subsequently, we all know what happened to Professor Frimpong Boateng.
What happened to him? Say it. Let your viewers know. I was coming to that. He was fired. Yeah. He was taken out.
Subsequently, they took him to court and
did all kinds of things to the one who was
political language haunted. So
thank you.
At the end
by who? Let your viewers know.
At the end of the day, the NDC has been in power more than 12 months.
So if you had
counting 18 months, so to speak, as at July, this point in time.
Yes.
We know the Deputy Attorney General says that also is at the center of their investigation, so to speak.
Yes.
But while you do that, the question then is, why don't you then thoroughly bring to the public focus what you are doing to individuals linked to the NDC as a party, individuals linked to government as well, who are alleged or fingered in some of these present acts?
Look, I like what you showed us.
And that you do it expeditiously.
Please. This you showed us. I'm not too sure who is behind it, except you tell me that is the NDC chairman or NDC woman organizer. And even with that, because a lot has been said, I'm not too sure. I don't know. This is a report by a cabinet minister. That's why I said don't compare. I do not know who has been fingered and to be mining where, if you say there are illegal miners all over, I can agree with you that it is happening. But to say it is the NDC doing it or someone in NDC doing it, please, I need more information. And you know where to report this. And it is clear. It is not just coming to, and I'm surprised. You come and sit here and say somebody is taxing galamsees. Really?
Yes.
I wish, where's the receipt?
I'll bring
Please,
it.
show it to us. Please, hold on. Show me the receipt. Because I know what I also know. Show me the receipt. And you see beyond that. Please hold it.
Just to put on public record. The said MC or DC has come up public to react.
Absolutely.
This was a tax or a toll.
Yes.
That was
heavy.
That he inherited.
Yes. It was been there since.
So please.
Taxing.
It doesn't.
No.
Hold on. Okay, you get your So please.
So you should take them on.
No. So then the question then is, why don't you take it away if it's linked to illegal mining, so to speak?
Yes. So that is it. But because of time, if you ask me what we have done, these are the people who came to promulgate a law to mine in the forest. These people. These are the people
down presently.
What? Which
for
is
the
what?
Individuals who have been named and linked.
Please. You see, when you do this, what is being done? Legally, they promulgated a law. These people, the people who are pontificating today, they promulgated a law for people to go into the forest to mine. So they actually legalized galamsey. Because there cannot be any justification for anybody to mine in the forest. This is the record of the MPP. We came, if we've done nothing at all, we came to revoke and repeal that law. If we've done nothing at all. So at the very top, we have not legalized galamsey. Of course, the fact that people are arrested for stealing does not mean there will never be theft. People are doing it. If you encourage us to do more, we accept it. But don't come and then play that ostrich as though you did anything important. There's always been this talk about what President Mahama may have said, that his appointees or his people are involved in galamsey and all that. Let me quote exactly what the president said. It's very, very important. Don't do this. I heard you speak all kinds of untruths, but I heard you. Let's be a bit civil here, I beg you. So you see, this is what President Mahama. No, the gestures are not the best.
Just to put to bed.
Said illegal mining has eaten into the fabric of our society, and I must say that it is not only a menace of our society, but it has involved a circle of traditional rulers, political party appointees, and everything. Even when one party changes, those who were running some operation, who went to one party, will go to the next party and say, now you have come and take over this. Now we have come and take over this operation and let's share. We too will be getting small. So I don't kid myself that we don't have our people involved. This is what he's saying. And then you come and tell me that the president said anyway that his own people are. Look, because you were so much soaked into galamsey, you want to just equalize. And this is what they do. Everything that is happening now was worse under their tenure. In fact, the reason I think they shouldn't even complain is that they even legalized it at the very top and allowed people to go into galamsey. Rubbished a cabinet minister's report. Today, let Kofi Amabua bring up something that he has fingered A, B, C, D, and let President Mahama throw that report away, and you hear what they will say. And yet it happened under their nose. They made sure that Frimpong Boateng was hounded out. This is the people. So it's so easy to come here and tell the people of Ghana that it is A or B or C. We know it is happening. I will take it, and that is why I sounded nationalistic when I said that it is uncalled for. In fact, it is something that we cannot encourage. To mine at the very, so close to a police station, and this is even not the first time. Mining, those places, you see, you don't have my time. I would have given you a little, but I didn't want to equalize. But for them to now come and pontificate as though what is happening has never happened before, it is not true. It is not true. Wound to me, at the moment, and they keep mentioning Wound to me's case is completely different from what is happening. And let nobody kid you. Wound to me was jailed for illegal mining. Because if you facilitate a crime, you are a criminal. It is exactly what you did.
All right. Please, 3 minutes each. Just 3 minutes on the subject.
Despite all the huffing and puffing and conflicting from the honorable here, evidence is clear.
Because something is being done, and that should be acknowledged.
The legalization of forest mining. Ask him.
You know, I kept quiet.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I was
I
talking.
3 minutes. You have 3 minutes.
Despite all the huffing, puffing, and conflating, and the false equivalencies from the honorable, this government has scammed Ghanaians when it comes to Galamsey.
They have what?
Scammed.
They have scammed
Ghanaians and voters when it comes to Galamsey. Despite all the huffing, puffing, and conflating from the honorable, the record of this government on Galamsey is F for failure. Despite all the huffing and puffing from him, the record of this government is ever failure, and this government's approach to Galamsey continues to be lazy. You just heard, let me say, one of the foremost people in the anti-Galamseyism. Just in this short interview, he has named about 5 Galamsey campaigns. Just in this short interview, he was dropping names like flies. He was dropping them. In any country, in any government that even has the semblance, a scintilla of reputation for fighting Galamsey, at least these people should have been investigated. As we said, none of them is. None of the people he's talking about, none of them is an investigation. Zero. I want you to understand that. He's dropping names. You and I were here when the colonel was almost shot at. Remember? They almost shot at him. The MPs he's talking about. We were here when they almost killed a colonel, just like the other people. And today,
Solo's friend,
yes, what has
your classmate?
You see, today I must say that I drove my heart to Solo today. I want to say because I like his calm demeanor. Because today, Solo is no more in his normal combustible mode. Because there's nothing he cannot talk. Because they have burned Solo at all ends. He has been burned at all ends. So he's like, oh my God. What can I say? Because you see, that is his friend. He almost killed his friend. Solo sat here and said that something must be done. Today, if they had killed your friend, hair is gone. If they had killed him, it's gone. And today, and this is the point. So today, I can understand why you're like, you see,
3 minutes for you. What do you think should be your call to the president to act?
Roland, the Ghanaian people voted for people to come and rule. They didn't vote for historians and social studies teachers.
Hallelujah.
They voted for them to come and work and deal with the menace drastically. Are you happy
As
when?
promised?
Yes. Are you happy when Dr. Kenashigbe made mention about a certain Galamsey allegation around Takwa area, and you found a deputy chief of staff verbally abusing the person on Facebook? We saw it. Kenashigbe has taken a side of it. He sits here as a member of parliament. Ask him that if he goes to Akwetia and the chiefs and people of Bwedua tells him that, Honorable, go away, you are into Galamsey, will he be happy? I'm sure he will not be happy. But the our win MP, has been booted away by his own traditional leaders. Nananom so ye Galamsey. He's been doing Galamsey. They've sacked him. They booted him out.
He said he's not.
He's not. That is where prosecution must actually begin. We've had a member of parliament who has been arraigned before court for conspiring with the young people over there to kill Solo's senior in school. A military man of his repute said that it took only God. It took only God. He would have died.
Which military man?
Oh, is it Kenama? Okay. Yes. This one, you want to question me on it. It is apparent. Everyone has taken judicial notice of it. My brother, are you happy when you find the NDC vice chairman of Obuasi West daring everybody in this country that if you accuse me, if you like, come and arrest me? This is the situation we have in. What I'm saying is that one of the major indicators or to show that indeed we are working is that when we mention this name, there must be thorough investigation and reports same to the people. Thorough investigation.
At the mention of a name, there must be thorough investigation.
That's the benchmark. You have investigate. I'm not saying arrest. I said investigate.
Aaron, your time is up. Please wrap up on this.
And brother, we live in a country.
Gentlemen, allow Aaron.
We live
don't
in
frustrate
a
and interject.
We live in a country where Wontumi has been jailed because the court has pronounced that he facilitated. My brother, which facilitation is better than having police officers clearly flagrant delito having the chairman of the district security council, seeing that there is galamsey happening about 20 steps, so not even meters, 20 steps to a police station. And we sit here, and all that my senior brother Bernard Bediako comes here to sit is to be doing social studies, lack of social amenities and all those things, and doing these calculations. You think that will solve the menace we are in? My brother, today consolidate well.
So look, what will be your onerous call on the president to act on these various matters? I think around the table, yes. Lawyer Bediako says that the efforts have been made, yes. Even now repealing laws, yes. And then at the policy level, instituting actions, yes. At the ministerial level, yes. And actions have been taken on the ground, yes. But equalization should not be the watchword and the diatribe. At the end of the day, what do you think needs to be the onerous decision and direction from the president?
The president simply must be firm. He has to be firm in dealing with his MCs, RECSEC, police commanders, and so on and so forth. Remember, it is the president that appoints the IGP. And up to date, the current IGP is doing very well. I expect him to act immediately. For instance, the Mpofiase commander must not be at post. And likewise, all those areas that mining is going on. You see, it is good that today we are discussing this matter dispassionately. Did I hear my brother Pat Kenashigbe at the back? When the judgment from the court came, when they handed Woon to me 20 years, Kenashigbe, who was sitting here somewhere, became the subject matter of discussion. Being bashed by that, oh, that is the sister-in-law, that is the auntie-in-law. And Ken was the one that influenced the judgment. We don't like truth. You understand? What it is against us, we want to push our back at the wall. We don't want to speak it. But you must always be consistent. At least, we are not told that President Mahama is involved in galamsey or gold-related matters. And that is why I believe that he must be in a position to deal with this issue once and for all. You remember Alistair Matthias? The documentary by Al Jazeera? Yes, when he openly told Al Jazeera investigative journalists that he was doing gold connection with President Akufo-Addo. That every month they were shipping between $40 million to $60 million worth of gold from this country. You ask yourself, where was President Akufo-Addo getting his gold from? That he was shipping together with the gentleman. Allegedly. No, that's what is alleged? But he calls Konsuman to write to Al Jazeera. But he calls Konsuman to write to Al Jazeera, threatening legal action. Has he been able to sue them? Now, was President Akufo-Addo able to sue Al Jazeera? He couldn't. Now, remember, it was around the same time that President Akufo-Addo went in and exonerated Akunta Mining for not engaging themselves in any illegal mine. Are you putting one and one together? So that if Wontumi is involved in illegal mining, then the next moment someone sitting somewhere accuses your certain president of doing gold business with, and the person is exonerated. Are you not doing logic and reasoning here this morning? Would I be safe in doing substitution? No, circumstantial evidence. This one is circumstantial evidence. You understand? To conclude that indeed the president was culpable, the former president was culpable in galamsey matters. You understand? So that is why I believe that. So that is why I strongly believe that this president, President Mahama, has the brightest opportunity to call out all those that are involved in galamsey in his administration. That is the only way he would establish a good legacy for himself, his family, his God, and his church. All right. No, please.
This is from Chief.
Okay, I'll read.
Chief says
so
he thought Solo had changed up until he ended with galamsey.
Who is that chief?
Chief, he is at
Who do you
go? What should he read? What should he read?
If we don't have time,
you don't have time. We don't have time. I introduce it to you.
Who is that?
If we don't have time,
are you against galamsey?
Are you saying that if you against galamsey? What do you mean against galamsey?
When you remember when they were voting not to go on the vote. They didn't vote against it.
Of Cape Coast. Do
you have any evidence of
Gold Coast? Sorry. And then this one, you're saying it's coming from who?
The Mpoho MP.
But so the Mpoho MP is saying the DC must go. On the issue, the DC must go demonstration was not good. Okay. So we're told that we're told. Please, gentlemen, please, let's not. No, gentlemen, it's okay. Gentlemen, it's okay. Let's have some.
Is this sponsored by Gold Coast?
According to Lawyer Bediakun, he's giving me a message from the Mpoho MP indicating that a DC must go demonstration was organized. And that the party members visited the council. The reason was that the DC was not treating them well. The point is that I think member of parliament, they said take action and then investigate and then prosecute same. And then please. Lolo Gasparini on our Facebook handle says that Dr. Zato is the next Minister of Education in 2029. Raindorf or say, I've seen your message, Yao February as well. Gentlemen, please. 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 It's okay. All right. So this one is coming from Gaiji. He says that Gaiji Cantonment Accra says enforcement capacity exists, but results are mixed because of political interference, corruption, inconsistent prosecution, and economic drivers. The coalition against Galamsey in March 2026 called it failing despite early promise and demanded stronger prosecution. Gaiji Cantonment Accra. And then Courage Kotoka in Angloga Lashibi says, there's no electricity here, and I'm watching you live on Facebook. And then also we have this one is coming from Simon Perez, says that kindly tell Dr. Zato and then Aaron to bring their evidence if any of the NDC persons are doing Galamsey.
He didn't publish.
And then please, can I? And then this one also is coming from. Okay, Angelo, I see your message as well. I'll get back to you on the subject. Thank you. Good morning as well. We have other messages, but thank you, gentlemen, for passing through. Remember that we have cash out. It goes with a shortcode *439#. This is what you need to do. You need to make sure that you choose option 2, increase the number of tickets, become one of those lucky winners when you choose TV3, which is option 2 as always. Remember, Big Issue is sponsored by the University of Gold Coast. They make it easier for you to get admission to the University of Gold Coast if you want to pursue their array of programs. Specialist MBA in communication, the way it's been rolling also means that they have business intelligence degrees, dual MBA or chartered manager MBAs, and they give you the options that you want. MSc International Relations, and then also International Law, Security Diplomacy, Accounting, Finance, Human Resource Management. They have master programs in international law and then also in biblical studies. And they have admissions ongoing. If you're a worker, they make it easier for you to work because of the flexible learning and timetable they have. You can also pay their fees in installments. Please call them now. All right? Call them on the number. University of Gold Coast on the number as quickly as you can. 026 388 8555. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest sports headlines. We'll be right back.
Mutala Yakubu is here. Mutala.
TB.
What's up this morning?
I'm good.
A very wet Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yes.
And lights out. I think in most parts of Accra as well.
Yes.
There's been outages, and I've seen a lot of complaints online.
Yes.
I don't know what initiated the outages, but it looks like it's a greater part of Accra.
Not just Accra, nationwide, actually.
Mm.
Yes, we've had Rico telling us that they are yet to establish the reason. That was the statement we read earlier this morning. But even as at early this morning after 7, people have started getting their lights back.
Oh, okay,
yes.
okay, yeah.
WAFCON, we're playing a game tonight, right?
Yes, Ghana is playing. Ghana is playing its first game this evening. At 5 p.m., we are coming up against Cape Verde. It's not going to be an easy one. From what we've seen so far with the AFCON, you cannot underrate any team.
I hope
you
it's a good
cannot.
start for
Complacency cannot step in. Because yesterday, the favorite to win the WAFCON,
Yes.
Nigeria were shocked by
Our
Malawi.
best rivals.
Yes, they were shocked by Malawi. I mean, we all thought it was going to be a walk in the park for Nigeria. Go out there, win by 5, and put out a statement again that you are here. But, I mean, they were surprised by how the Malawians conducted themselves. And Malawi went on to win the game by 3-2, scoring some very, very good goals. I mean,
the goals have been interesting. And we had 4-0, right?
Yeah, we've had 4-0. We've had 6-0 from Zambia as well. Yesterday,
no,
Zambia.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
I was on agenda yesterday.
Zambia beating Egypt by 6 yesterday. It was a big one for them as well. But it's been a very interesting tournament so far. The underdogs are actually swallowing the big girls.
Wow.
And it's not something that it wasn't part of the script that
But you know what
we
I
had.
don't really like about football is the fact that even if you score 20, it's still 3 points.
Of course, but it doesn't matter. In the end, you are in the group phase and it might come down to goals. So yesterday, as I said, Zambia beating Egypt by 6-0. Barbara Banda scoring a couple in that game. And Nigeria shockingly losing to Malawi by 3-2. Today is the turn of the Black Wings.
I pray we do
5 p.m. Ghana against Cape Verde is the game that we'll be looking forward to. And we are praying that we will not follow the footsteps of our neighbors and lose. We will start off on the flying notes.
They will so troll us.
Of course, because yesterday we gave it to them online. We actually prepared for that. So when the defeat came, we just went online to troll them. So today it's our 10. We would hope that the Black Queens will turn up. The likes of Chantel Boy and the likes of Doris Boadua, Evelyn Bedu, all these girls will come to the party. And Kim Lasbiok again, we are hoping that his tactics would also work so that we can get a victory in our opener against Cape Verde.
We should have a very good start.
Of course.
I'm hoping that we get that. And
because our next 2 games will be very tough.
Yes. Okay, so let's hear from the coach of the Black Queens.
So they can also go their own ways. So we need to respect that fact. And we're having like 3 targets, I would say. One is to make the group stage. That, of course, will be the first one. The second goal is maybe in one way the biggest and most important, and is to win the quarterfinal to qualify for the next upcoming World Cup. Over long term, that will be the most important, I would say. And if we make that, I mean, then it's to go all the way. Then we will not just be happy with the bronze medal. Then we're going to do everything to make the final and then go for the goal. So I see everything in 3 steps, but we do it also with confidence, but also with respect for our opponent.
Now, beyond the coach, I think Mutala Chantel also spoke.
Yes.
Earlier.
Chantel Boyhloka, who is one of the midfielders for the Black Queens, was also at the presser and she spoke.
It's important. It's the start of the WAFCON. Those girls were really excited. We've been waiting for it. I think we've prepared really well. We had a good time out here last year. So now, we're prepared to come back, do our job, and we've gelled well as a team. We're coming together, we've put the training sessions in, as Coach said, we've got a good fitness coach. He's put us through our paces, and we're ready to get going. As a team, we've prepared well, as I said before. I think we will go into this tournament with confidence within ourselves, because we believe in the team that we have.
Chantel there, but we also do have the WAFU B Championship.
Yeah, the WAFU B Championship. It's an under-20 tournament that is currently ongoing in Ivory Coast. It serves as preparatory grounds for the Black Satellites because Ghana has won the bid to host the under-20 AFCON later this year. So we are hoping that the Satellites will use this tournament to prepare themselves well for that big one. But unfortunately, our first game was against Nigeria, and they beat us by 4-2. Nigeria beat us by 4.
Yes, we talked about it.
Yes, they beat us by 4-2. But tomorrow we'll be playing Burkina Faso in our second game. And
how is it looking like?
Coach Maxwell Kunedo has talked about the fact that he's seen the cracks in the team. He's seen where we fell short against Nigeria.
Now, why do you always see after?
Well, that is hindsight. What hindsight gives you. So you are going to see intensity. We are going to see more purpose from the boys in our second game. Nigeria has always proven to be a tough opponent for us in recent times when it comes to youth tournaments. But this tomorrow, it's Burkina Faso that we'll be facing. Then we move on to Togo. So if we are able to pick 3 points against Burkina in Togo, then we move out of our group. So it's tomorrow. Today it's for the Black Queens and tomorrow is for the Black Satellites.
Well, perhaps before we face Nigeria again, we should eat eba and egusi. That would give us the same energy. And then, of course, we've still been talking about the 2026 Commonwealth Games.
Not a good time for us. Yesterday, I was in high hopes that Benjamin Azamati getting to the final would at least be on the podium. But unfortunately, he finished a lowly 7th out of 8 that competed in the final. Yes, I mean, Saminu finished 3rd in the semi-final, but could not make it to the final due to his time. But Benjamin Azamati was the sole representative for Ghana in the final. In the men's 100-meter race, we're hoping that at least we'll get one of the gold, silver, or bronze medal. But unfortunately, Azamati finished 7th, and it means that Ghana finished the Commonwealth Games, the men's 100-meter. That's not Azamati. Azamati was in the last lane, the first lane actually. And unfortunately, this is what we came up with. And it's a sore one for Ghana because Azamati is someone that we've always had high hopes in. Right from his days at the University of Ghana, you could see the quality is there, but he's not been able to hit the heights that we expect him to. But he's still quite young and he's still training. Maybe in subsequent tournaments, we'll see Azamati actually showcase his talent. But unfortunately, Ghana could not win anything in the men's 100-meter final. But we have 1 medal so far, and we got it from Paralympics.
That's great. We have 2 actually.
2, okay.
Yes, 1 from Paralympic and which one again?
Boxing as well. Yes, boxing. Yes. As well,
Yes, but I know you're coming back at 10.
10.
With Sports Daily. What else?
Sports Daily will be discussing the Black Queens game into detail. So Akosia would be joining me.
Lovely.
We'll be exploring ways that we can defeat Cape Verde.
I hope the coach and all the important people will be watching.
Of course, definitely.
Just so that we put in the best. Thank you very much, Temutila Yakubu, for bringing us the latest in sports. Stay with us. We're back with some more.
Is changing, not slowly, not quietly. In the north, the rains that once arrived on time don't come anymore. In the middle belt, rivers and forests disappearing overnight. Along the coast, the sea is swallowing land that families have called home for generations. Rising temperatures, failed harvests, homes lost to tides. This is not a warning about tomorrow. This is the world right now. TV3 and the German Embassy in Ghana. The conversation on climate security implications in Ghana. The Climate Talks 2026. 5 cities, 5 conversations, 1 urgent call to action. Tamale, Bolgatanga, Kumasi, Keta, Accra. Starting this June 2026. The climate talks are coming, and this time, the people most affected by Ghana's climate security crisis will be at the center of it all. Because the time for Ghana to act is now. In a world full of noise, clarity matters. Stories shape us, ideas challenge us. An honest dialogue moves us forward. This is a space for depth, where voices are heard and perspectives matter. Conversations with Dr. Abnanya Kwasmini, coming soon on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
The world around us is changing, not slowly, not quietly. In the north, the rains that once arrived on time don't come anymore. In the middle belt, rivers and forests disappearing overnight. Along the coast, the sea is swallowing land that families have called home for generations. Rising temperatures, failed harvests, homes lost to tides. This is not a warning about tomorrow. This is the world right now. TV3 and the German Embassy in Ghana. The conversation on climate security implications in Ghana. The Climate Talks 2026. 5 cities, 5 conversations, 1 urgent call to action. Tamale, Bolgatanga, Kumasi, Keta, Accra. Starting this June 2026. The climate talks are coming, and this time, the people most affected by Ghana's climate security crisis will be at the center of it all. Because the time for Ghana to act is now. In a world full of noise, clarity matters. Stories shape us, ideas challenge us. An honest dialogue moves us forward. This
hepatitis B very shortly. But from morning, we've been telling you, as in early morning, we've been telling you to keep playing *439#, follow the prompt, and then you get the chance of receiving a part of the 1,000 Ghana cedis we are giving today. So let's have our first draw. Those of you who played very hard and you're going to be rewarded. Are we displaying the number right now? Who is winning a bit of the 1,000 Ghana cedis? Yes, so we kept saying, play *439#, follow the prompts, your favorite number being TV3. Let's get to see the first person. How much is this person getting out of the 1,000 Ghana cedis? 500 Ghana, wow, okay, that's good. 0249 511 -- So the 3 dots represent the last 3 numbers of your telephone number. So if this is your number, congratulations to you. You've won yourself a 500 Ghana cedi cash free. Congratulations to you. And hopefully we're able to do one more draw. So you got 500 out of the 1,000. Let's hope we do a second draw at least before we close. Congratulations on you're getting 500 Ghana cedis from playing. And yes, hepatitis B, the conversation I just told you about. I'm joined in the studio now by Dr. John Gerald Adiboka. He's Program Manager, National Viral Hepatitis Control Program, Ghana Health Service. Good morning to you, Doc.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And hopefully we should be joined by Dr. Fatima Mohammed as well, who is also a physician specialist, among others, at the Kulibu Teaching Hospital. But since you're here, Doc, let me start with you. Tell us more about what hepatitis B is really and why it's a major problem in Ghana.
So when we talk about hepatitis, which means inflammation of the liver.
Okay.
So when you have the liver being increased in size or there are changes in the liver, you call it hepatitis. So the liver is hepatic, that's the liver. So there are many causes that can make the liver to increase in size. We have viral causes, of which we are going to talk about today. We have bacterial causes. We have medications that can cause the liver to increase in size. We have parasites. But what we are concerned about is the viral hepatitis. And then when we look at the viral hepatitis, we have hepatitis A, which causes acute infection, hepatitis B, which we are going to discuss, hepatitis C, another concern, hepatitis D, which is like a parasite. So you have to have B before you can get D. Then we have hepatitis E.
Wow.
Yeah.
And all these are caused by different conditions or different factors, as it were.
So the causes are different.
Okay.
For when you look at hepatitis A and hepatitis E, it's more what we call fecal oral, meaning that you get it through contaminated food that is being contaminated by feces. That is what is common. And usually when you get it, it's a short period of time, then you recover. So almost every...
And then you recover?
Yes.
Okay.
So every Ghanaian has, or one in your lifetime, you've had it before. So
I thought that feces in food was more of cholera-related stuff.
They are all part of the, the conditions. Cholera, typhoid, Hep A, Hep B. So the virus is living in those. So the mode of transmission, as we said, is fecal oral. Now, when we talk about the one we are bothered and worried about is the hepatitis B and C. So the B and C, they can cause both acute and chronic.
Okay.
So when we say acute, it means that when you get it within a maximum of 3 months or 6 months, you are recovered fully.
Okay.
But if it persists more than 6 months, then we say that it's chronic. Okay. And that is what the B and the C does. Now, when it gets chronic, what happens is that it stays in your body. Sometimes your body may be able to clear it. That's when your immune system is strong. And if your immune system is not strong, then it persists. And then when it persists in your liver or in your body, that is where it causes problems.
Do I get that all hepatitis A, B, C, or whichever one affects the liver?
Yes, all of them affect the liver. But the others usually affect the digestive system. That's why some of them present with diarrhea. So apart from the liver, some can present with diarrhea, vomiting, your body become weak and all that. So aside the liver, so there are other parts of the body that it also affects.
How common, for instance, is hepatitis B in Ghana?
So hepatitis B, Even though your topic is saying hepatitis B, but I would have preferred viral hepatitis so that we discuss all of them. But when we talk about single out hepatitis B is the most common viral infection in Ghana in terms of the viral hepatitis. About 3 million people in Ghana are infected with chronic viral hepatitis B, and meaning that it represents about 9% of the population. That one we talk about prevalence. So if you have about 100 Ghanaians who will come to you for a test, the probability that you are likely to detect 9 Ghanaians being tested positive for viral hepatitis B is high.
9 out of 10?
Yes, 9 out of 100.
9 out of 100,
yes.
Okay.
Then there are even some part of the countries that have higher prevalence, especially in the northern part of Ghana.
Why?
Then we have prevalence. So usually the mode of transmission varies. As I said, the commonest is through mother to child.
Okay.
The more mothers who are having positive or who are tested positive for viral hepatitis, you are likely to transmit it to your child. And it's not that it's a genetic disease. The transmission is during birth, where there's blood contact with the child.
Okay.
It's just a blood product and body fluid that you get it.
Okay.
So it's not that when you are pregnant, the infection happens within the uterus. That is not what happens. It happens when in the process of giving birth. That is why it happens.
What are some of the misconceptions? I remember many years ago, what I knew about transmission of hepatitis B was basically or primarily sexual. But in our earlier conversation, you were telling me that that's really not what the case is. So what are the other misconceptions aside from this one?
So that is where the stigma comes. Any disease that has to do with sexual contact or let's say sexual transmission, there is a very much stigma attached to it, just like HIV and all that. But when you look at the way it's being transmitted, sexual transmission is not the main mode of transmission. As I said, about 95% of people who are infected with chronic hepatitis B is through mother to child, where we call the vertical transmission. The other mode of transmission is just the 5% is just the adult, where you can acquire it through blood contact when you are sharing needles and other with people. Then sexual transmission is possible, but it's minimal because your body, as an adult, your body is able to fight against the virus. So there are some who get it, and then later on your body is able to clear the virus. So with that one, and because of that, people think that, oh, when your wife or your husband is positive, you are living promiscuous life, and that is where the stigma comes.
Okay.
And the other stigma is that people think that viral hepatitis, either B or C, is a case. So you can see that in a family, when the brother is having the virus and it complicated to liver cirrhosis, liver failure, or liver cancer, within a year, the person may pass on. The person will start vomiting blood and all that, and may pass on. And because
within a year, because the person would not
so
have,
you may not know. By the time you start having
hospital.
this, yes, because usually when you have it, it becomes what's called asymptomatic. You may not know. So when some of the viruses are very carcinogenic in some families.
Okay.
So you can have some family members who are dying from liver cancer. So if, assuming this month someone has it, and your family, unfortunately, the virulence that is in your family is causing cancer, you can die from it. And then maybe another year your brother died, then at the local setting we think that it's
You're
your
using
grandma.
a different word, liver cancer. So it could also be referred to as liver cancer.
Yes, yes.
I see. Okay.
So you think that it's your grandmother or someone in the family who is either bewitching you and killing you, or there's someone who is poisoning you. That is why you are vomiting blood anytime you are sick. And when you go to the genesis, you realize that's more likely coming from liver cirrhosis or liver cancer. Now, people also believe that when you have viral hepatitis B, you cannot eat with the person, you can't shake hands with the person, you can't live with the person,
These are all
you can't hug the person. It's through sweat. When we talk about kissing, it's unless it has to do with blood. You kiss to the point that maybe there's blood contact between you and the person. But from just normal kiss and saliva, they are not likely to get.
Wow.
So people should stop avoiding people who are positive for viral hepatitis.
At the end of the day, I've heard people say that prevention is better than cure. Can this be prevented?
Yes. So the single most important way of preventing liver cancer in terms of hepatitis causing that is through the vaccine. So the vaccine can be taken in so many ways. You can have the adult going to test, and then you take the vaccine. You are protected for life. Then we have the children who are being given birth to. So what we have, the policy Ghana Health Service have now, every child, when they give birth to the child, they undergo the routine birth vaccines, where we give at 6 and 10 and then 14 weeks.
How effective is the vaccine?
The vaccine is effective. It protects for over 95%. So there's a gap, because when they give birth to you, we wait until 6 weeks before we give you the normal pentavalent vaccine that we always give to them. They say you are going for weigh-in and they are giving you. But there's a small gap there. That is why we intend to introduce what we call...
Please, go ahead.
We intend to introduce what we call the hepatitis B birth dose, so that every child that is being given birth within 24 hours, you have the opportunity to receive the vaccine. And with that one, it will reduce the mode of transmission, or the risk of transmission from the mother to the child.
Are there practical steps families can take to protect themselves?
Yes. So the first practical step is to screen the whole family. And the children who were born 2002 and above, because of the vaccine that was introduced by the WHO and Ghana Health Service, most of the children are covered, even though there's a risk in between. And that is why I want to add the birth dose, so that within 24 hours you are entitled to the
So what about the point of transmission when you say that during birth, the contact of the mother with that of the babies? How do you prevent that from happening? Is there a possibility?
So as I said, first is testing. So the policy of Ghana Health Service, Ministry of Health, is that any pregnant woman who goes to hospital, they are supposed to be tested for viral hepatitis B. So when you test and you are positive, if you are negative, we advise the woman to take the vaccine. If you are positive, there are steps. One, you treat the mother. If there's an indication that you treat the mother, you treat. And then when you treat the mother, you reduce the amount of virus that are likely to be in the blood or in the fluid. That one will reduce the transmission. Then with that one, there's also an injection called immunoglobulin. So the day you are going to give birth to the baby, we also give the immunoglobulin to the baby, including the vaccine. So when you do all this, you reduce the mode of transmission to the child.
I'll come back to you. We're joined in the studio now by Dr. Fatima Mohammed, who is a physician specialist and gastroenterology fellow, Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Yeah.
Good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning.
Thank you as well for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I can imagine that you see a lot of patients as well coming in with hepatitis B. Tell us some of the practical things you hear from them, the experiences, and really generally what people need to know about what it means to contract hepatitis B.
Yeah, so hepatitis B, because it's stigmatized a lot, poses a lot of emotional stress on our patients. So you hear patients telling you that people don't want to share spoons and cups, or even as much as just sitting close to them, and that makes them very uncomfortable. So we'd use this platform to educate the public and tell them that hepatitis B is not contracted in such manner. It's only by blood-to-blood exchange and mother to child. And so let's not stigmatize people who have it. You'd hear patients tell you that they've opted for herbal treatment because they've heard somewhere that there's a cure for hepatitis B. Currently, all the medications we give people with hepatitis B is to suppress the virus and make sure you don't develop complications. There is no approved drug that totally cures hepatitis B.
Okay, but in terms of the experience, I mean, when you have malaria, there's a way you feel.
Yeah.
When you have a normal cold, there's a way you feel. For those who have contracted hepatitis B, what is it like?
Yeah, so the important thing to know is that most people with hepatitis B will not show any symptoms. So they are asymptomatic, yes. And for those who show symptoms, they would have the same feeling you would have when you have malaria. So they have a bit of fever, malaise, body aches and pains, and sometimes you may have yellowing of your eyes, which is transient. But then when it becomes chronic, that means if the virus survives in you for a prolonged period of time, then you begin to have the complications. Then you notice that some people have pain at the right side of their abdomen. They may have abdominal enlargement or distension. Their feet may also get swollen and all that, yes. So generally, when you get it in the acute phase, it's just like any other infectious disease that we deal with, like malaria or typhoid fever.
At which point does an individual get pushed to say that, let me go to the hospital and do A or B test to check what I'm suffering from, just so people are able to get health care early enough before they get to the stage where they have complications?
Okay, so now we are advocating that even if you don't have symptoms, for each and every one of us, we need to know our hepatitis B and C status. Testing is easy. It's an on-spot test, just like the rapid malaria test, and you get your results immediately after the test. And that helps you to know if you have the virus or not. If you do not have the virus, there's a vaccine for hepatitis B, which can prevent you from subsequently contracting the virus. Yes.
So should I just wake up and say that I'm going for a hepatitis B vaccine, although I don't see any sign, nothing at all?
Yes, that's what we are advocating, because sometimes if you wait for the symptoms to show, it may be a little bit too late. And so this year, what we are campaigning for is that people should be more proactive about their health. The testing is very subsidized. We are still advocating to make it free. And so you can have it done at any teaching hospital, regional hospital, or district hospital.
So perhaps the last question I'd ask you before I come back to you, Doc, is assuming there's really nothing, there's no hepatitis, and because you've said this, I'm thinking of going to the hospital to take some vaccine, will that not eventually affect me negatively? I'm getting something into my body that is not responding to anything.
Yes, so once you don't have hepatitis B and you get the vaccine is going to help your body produce what we call antibodies. These are like tiny soldiers that are formed, ready to fight the virus anytime you get it. Yeah, so it's important to get the vaccine. And for adults, you get 3 doses. So you start with the first dose, then you get another dose a month after, then 6 months after. And then you are protected for life. So I think this is very essential, because if you compare the complications of hepatitis B versus the inconvenience of having to take the vaccine, I think it would be best to choose the former.
Perhaps one more before I come to you, Doc. What are the categories of people who are most at risk?
Yes, so the most at risk people are, unfortunately, people living in endemic regions like Africa, of which we are part. So we are all at risk, because we have a lot of people with the infection already, and so transmission is easy in this part of the world. Apart from that, people who have their mothers who are positive for hepatitis B, so a mother can pass it to their child. And so if you come to the hospital and your doctor asks you to tell your family to get tested, it means that you could have contracted it from your mother, and so your siblings are also at risk of hepatitis B infection. And those who exchange needles, and people who use unapproved routes for circumcision. So because those equipments are not sterilized, and so carries the risk of transmission. And also people who go to herbal people to make these marks on their bodies when they are ill. All these things are modes that you can contract hepatitis.
And Doc, having made that point from Dr. Fatima, what would you say should be the frequency of screening by those who are in endemic areas or most at risk?
So first of all, you need to do one test or screening once in your lifetime. That's the most important thing. And you know, because Ghana, we don't invest in health. We only go to hospital when there's pain, and then when we think that we are not well. So ideally, you are supposed to do a checkup every 6 months or once in a year. So in the process of doing that, at least your doctor can add it. Now, what we are advocating is that if you're a health worker, if you're a doctor, you're a nurse, and you have a patient in front of you, especially those who have diabetes, hypertension, and all that, when you come to the hospital and you are doing your routine checkup or test, add Hep B and Hep C. You'll be surprised that your hypertension you are treating, and the person will come with something that is worse than that. So for the test, we want everyone, try once in your lifetime, Just check to know your status.
And Dr. Fatima was talking about the need, you talked about herbal medicines
Yeah.
and stuff. There are those who argue that, okay, I have my herbal drugs, they
Yeah.
treat me okay. I've heard testimonials and all of that. What are you doing about it? Because you work with the Ghana Health Service.
Yeah, so we are going to embark on nationwide campaign.
Okay.
So we are going to involve the traditional medicine people. We need to talk to them. We need to let them understand that there's no approved drug for treatment of viral hepatitis B and C in Ghana. But you have to also know that if you're an adult and you get infected with the virus, your body itself can clear it. Now, there can be some coincidence. So I've tested, it's positive, it's not acute. Then you've gone to the herbal person, he has given you medication. Your body has cleared and he has also given you medication. The next time you go and check, it's gone. He may think that it's his drugs that has worked.
You're saying that there's no approval. Does it mean that these herbal drugs can't cure? Because I know that...
No, there's no cure.
You're saying that our herbal medicines don't help?
So, no. It's not that they don't help. Do you understand?
They
if you are
can't
going
cure?
to,
Or how do you conclude?
So when we are saying
conclusion?
cure simple means that just like malaria, you have tested positive for malaria, and then we'll put you on treatment. After 3 days, the next time you go and test for malaria, it's not there.
So, but the herbal drugs can
for
help
herbal
reduce.
medication for viral hepatitis B and C, there's no cure.
Can it help reduce the virus?
Some people have studies supporting it, but we don't support it.
But why is the Ghana Health Service not doing your study or survey into it just to find out whether or not it
there are
works
so
to
many studies. So there are so
the
many
others you
studies
have?
that they have done. They have submitted to the FDA, and they have not approved any. So it means that there's none.
Yeah. Please let me get your final thoughts moving forward on what should be done.
Yeah. So what we are saying is that people should take charge of their health, especially when it comes to viral hepatitis B and C. For hepatitis C, the good news is that the Stop Hep C program provides free treatment. So once you have it, you get free treatment at no cost at all, and then you can be cured from Hep C. So there's a cure. For Hep B, there are drugs that are highly subsidized by the government that is available to help suppress the virus so that you don't get a chronic infection. So please, from today, tell a friend to tell a friend to go check their viral hepatitis status. Please, your final word.
Yeah, so I have to say that viral hepatitis B and C, they are preventable diseases. We know that is the commonest cause of cancer death in Ghana. In men, aside prostate cancer, is liver cancer. And it's something that we can prevent. So we encourage everybody, including the stakeholders, community leaders, to encourage people to go to the hospital to test and know their status. And we as a Ghana Health Service, the primary health care is coming. We're also advocating that one is also part of the normal screening, so that all the communities level we can do that. So and then just to add a point on the Hep C treatment, the Hep C treatment, the hepatitis C treatment is free across the whole country. Okay. All the teaching hospital, regional hospital, and some selected district hospitals across the country. The treatment is about 10,000 Ghana cedis, but the government, in collaboration with the government of Egypt, has made it free.
Government of Egypt?
Yes.
Okay.
Has made it free for everyone in Ghana. So if you have it, walk to the hospital and you see your doctor and you put on it. And it's only 3 months for treatment.
And it's only 3 months for treatment. All right, thank you very much. So what you need to know your status, get vaccinated if you're not infected, and if you have hepatitis B, seek early medical care, because I'm sure you heard the complications that could come when you don't seek early medical care. Timely treatment can prevent serious complications such as liver cirrhosis and liver cancer. So you know what to do. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Fatima Mohammed, who is a physician specialist and gastroenterology fellow, Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Right. Thank you very much for joining us. Also to you, Dr. John Gerald Adiboka, Program Manager, National Viral Hepatitis Control Program with the Ghana Health Service. Thank you as well, sir, for joining us. Attention all parents of first-year SHS boarding students. EduPark, the Ghana Education Service approved and supported national SHS initiative implemented by Prospectus Ghana, is now in progress across Ghana. Parents across the country are already registering. so that the children's trunk, Shinto's mattress, pillow, and plastic chop box will be ready and waiting at the school before reporting day. Do not delay and be caught in the usual last-minute market rush, carrying heavy items under pressure. With EduPack, your child does not need to travel to school with these 4 essential items. To register, simply dial *713 *821#. Visit any ADB branch or go to www.edupackgh.com. Make payment, keep your receipt, and present it on opening day to collect all your child's EduPack items. Your EduPack registration follows you to any SHS you're placed in. Avoid the stress, avoid the rush, prepare with confidence, all at a very affordable price. EduPack, approved and supported by GES. More information, call 050-00600-607 or 0302-955050. And so you know exactly what to do. And if it's your birthday, like we always do it here, we want to help you celebrate it a very big way. So let's see who is celebrating their birthdays this morning. Okay, before the birthdays though, it's time to make that move. It's time for a cold Malta Guinness. When the mind, body and Malta Guinness unite, you can imagine what could happen. Nothing is beyond your reach. Vim up your daily pursuit with a revitalizing taste of Malta Guinness packed with B vitamins. Charge forward towards your goals with each sip of its nourishing natural goodness. Now with a new look. Remember to always look out for the proudly made in Ghana symbol on every bottle or of Malta Guinness or can of Malta Guinness. Malta Guinness, we move. So is it your birthday today? We want to help you celebrate it in a big way. Okay, Mrs. Shine Clenham Atikpo Pokli, God bless your new age from husband and children. Happy birthday to you, ma'am. Terrence Ewuku, God bless you. Happy birthday, young man. Betty Evans Inkum. Is it William Evans Inkum's? Okay, I thought it was the wife. That's the sister. Happy birthday to you, the sister of William Evans Inkum. Yes. Bari Katu Obing Danso of Bibieni from Felix MG. Happy birthday to you. Beatrice, remember mommy. Remember mommy loves you so much. Okay, happy birthday to you. Namesake, Beatrice.
I love that. Namesake, Beatrice. You go kill Rio.
Oh, there's actually one more. Claudia Selikem Luther of Christ the King International School, Cantonment. God bless you and guide you from your dad, Major General C.K. Luther, and mom, Madam Amanda, your sisters Mawena and Aram. Happy birthday to you, young lady. Roland, that's it for our show today.
Yeah, that's it for our show. And tomorrow we promise to bring you bigger and exciting content right here on TV3 Newday. Make sure that you're also a regular watcher for our subsequent programming. That will be again still on the channel.
Yes.
But always keep your tabs on 3news.com and then also across our social media handles, particularly TV3 Ghana.
Indeed. And all our platforms.
Certainly.
And you get the best. Have a great day. My name is Beatrice Edu.